the fuck is this?
Hello. I don't seem to be hearing Karen right now. I was hoping I could just have her voice in the background here. You're getting a peek behind the curtain here. We've got Minus, we got JD Max, we've got Minus again, and we've got Mr. Jackpot, and we've got Chopped. I was hoping this was a firewall stream, always Chopped. Negativity, anytime he's here. Negativity. It's getting to me. It's getting to me, Chopped. I'm going to ban you permanently at this rate. Keep your money. Keep it all. You're out of here. You're bringing me down. You're making me want to cut myself. That's just how it is. I'll be honest, I have been cutting myself. Listen, let's not start the stream with this kind of negativity. Alright, Voidcat? How's it going? Everyone needs to relax. Okay? Why can I not hear Karen? Is the question. How do I get desktop audio? Maybe I just plug in the speakers. Do it that way. What do you think? Let me do a test. Test.
Me. Said.
Oh.
Test.
Weird.
Chopped 517. Said. Okay dash symbol dash symbol dash symbol dash symbol dash symbol dash symbol I'm out. Void
okay.
cat.
I can hear it in my head now.
Said.
Why can I only hear it when I plug my speakers in?
Said. You monster.
Let me try that again. Test. Weird. Speakers in, it works. Speakers out, it doesn't work. Anyway, let's get to the meat and potatoes of what this stream is. If you've read the description, or if you've read the title, you might understand what's happening here. Basically, this. We want to make a game
Chopped 517. Said. Fall Guy is fun for stoners.
Fall Guy is fun for everyone. Fall Guys is fun for clean, sober,
who murdered the English language,
respectable individuals. Germ says, who murdered the English language? Uh-oh. Did I spell shit wrong? What did I do? You know what? I'm Irish. I don't care about the English language. Okay? So this is what I have so far. This is the master design document. Hideo Kojima makes these for Metal Gear Solid games. So I think he learned this from me, if I'm being honest. This is important here. We got to keep in mind the game will have to be clean.
Void cat.
No swearing.
I must be not a stoner smiling face with open mouth and cold sweat.
And cold sweat. No swearing and no filth. So we have to keep it clean. That's important. I have seen Dreams games where there's blood and gore and scary stuff. So maybe we can get stuff like that in there. But no bad language and no penises or exposed nipples on female characters, at least. So, I've only done it one page. And I did this like a few weeks ago. This game will be a first-person virtual reality murder mystery. Alright? First person, that's important. Players will assume the role of a new subscriber to the Petrifying Pumpkins YouTube channel. By the way, as I'm reading this out, feel free to say, no, I don't like this. Change this. How about you do this instead? You know? So that I can tell you to shut up. Jesus Christ. I was like, what is that?
5XL. Said. Haha. Yes.
Thank you, Chopped, for the $20 dues. Jesus. That was an thumbs down cost more. That's just how it is. You want to smash the thumb down, you gotta pay 20. Thank you very much, Chopped, for the generosity. Where's the chat gone? I missed something. Haha, yes, says 5XL. I don't know what he's laughing at. Okay. So, Voidcat
said.
What are you saying?
It can be violent and gory though, right?
Yes. From what I understand, it can be violent and gory. But keep in mind, we are not skilled. So, it's going to be looking like, it's not going to be realistic gore. Unless one of you is very talented.
5XL
and you can do realistic guts and stuff like that.
Because of me cooking soup.
Oh, you're reading ahead. No spoilers. Okay.
Minus PSVR.
Minus
said.
No spoilers. Stop
This
reading.
is like that computer game that lead to a dead body. This is Karen's story. Void Cat.
In real life, you mean?
Said.
Listen.
Maximum violence.
Okay. We'll take these on board. Just let me get through this page, and then we'll brainstorm, and then we'll see where we go from here. Because right now I don't even know who the killer is. Right, so players will assume the role of a new subscriber, and will be invited by Pumpkins, which is me, to his sprawling manor in rural Ireland for a moist celebration.
Dave Station VR.
David Station.
Said, no swearing and no filth. I'm not playing this.
Even if you're in it,
Chopped
David Station?
517. Said. Ha 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 minus.
Listen, I don't know if you're referencing a real life game that led to a real life body. This is news to me. But Karen will be in this game alive and well. Anyway, I want a big house. Resident Evil style house where there's hidden passages.
Minus PSVR.
Karen will be in the basement.
Said.
You know?
The name should be Justice for Karen.
This is a working title. Murder
Dave
mystery.
Station VR.
Working title.
Said.
Alright, we can come up with a name.
Okay, if I'm in it I am listening.
There you go. That's what I thought. The thing is, you're all going to be in it. Well, most of you.
MZAQ123WSX44.
The regulars. What the hell?
Said. Wanna become famous? Buy followers.
Hey, who's this guy?
Crimes and views on big
Hey,
follows asterisk com.
This guy's got
Big
some nice
follows com.
ideas.
Minus
Let me click
PSVR.
this link.
Said. It was a real body.
Jesus
Pete
Christ.
Hawkins. Said. Word
Petey
up Pete to the mofoing
Hawkins. How
The
you doing,
VR
Peace?
Grid.
Welcome.
Said.
Mr. VR Grid.
Sup ho.
What up, VR
Minus
Grid?
PSVR.
Hope you're enjoying your vodka.
Said. We all need to shut up so he can read. Void Cat.
I can't read.
Said. I like it.
Alright, so far.
Protagonist is out for justice. Violent justice.
Listen. Karen is alive. She's going to... Let's just get to that when we get to that. The game begins as the player arrives. Pumpkins welcomes the player and announces their arrival to the Pumpkin Patch Kids, who are all of you, insisting that no real names be used and everyone go by their YouTube
The
handles.
VR Grid.
Alright?
Said.
So maybe we'll have name patches.
I am enjoying my
What do you
vodka.
think? What do you think? Or maybe we'll just have names floating over people's heads.
Dave Station VR. Said. Does this contain any elements of the sexy fanfic that teenage girl wrote about you?
Where's she gone? Good question, Dave. Maybe that'll be like an alternate ending. Just a sex scene with myself and Decepticon. Okay. So Decepticon will be DJing on the decks, you know?
Chop
The turntables.
517.
Doing a bit of this.
Said.
As he does in real
I
life.
like patches.
You like patches? Will we add patches to the game?
Dej the Pumpkin Patch Kid. Said.
Deej, how you doing?
This is interesting.
There, I'm glad to hear that, Deej.
Dej
That's
the
what I
Pumpkin
wanted.
Patch
I
Kid.
wanted to do something different.
Said. Hi everyone waving hand sign.
I'm not really in the mood to stream a game, but I'm also not in the mood to go to bed.
Void Cat.
And I wanted to do
Said.
something. And we could do this.
Face with tears of joy. The story starts with heavy pumpkin smashing. The VR Grid.
Listen, I can't
Said.
get a word in here. Hold on a sec.
I demand a box quote.
Maybe I should just...
Dave
oh,
Station
I forgot.
VR.
I forgot. Hold on a sec.
Said. This is only interesting because the Fall Guys servers are down.
Ah, why is it coming out? This is strange. I don't understand. Can you
Pete
guys hear that
Hawkins.
music?
Said. LOL. I'm on the ceiling ha ha ha.
It's Pete, no spoilers. Desktop audio. How do I get it all to come to my headset? What am I doing wrong here? I can hear Karen talking.
Pete Hawkins. Said. Mute chat in red. Smiley face. Minus PSVR.
Yeah, maybe I should.
Said.
Listen, give
No
me a
music.
break. You don't hear music?
Malia
Alright, I'm
645.
gonna pause it then.
Said.
I'm gonna pause it then.
Schrodinger's Fall Guy server status.
That
The
game
VR
is
Grid.
always down.
Said. Was gonna stream Fall Guys twice.
Alright,
No
you know
dice.
what? I can't listen to you anymore. I can't. Decepticon will be DJing on the decks where the player can request he play a song. Maybe we'll have like multiple choice and we'll actually use real Decepticon songs. That could be a cool thing. Jackpot, Chopped, and Minus, the three biggest stoners on the channel, maybe. I'm not too sure. I think they might be. But if there's more big stoners, we can put them in that group. They will be in the kitchen, red eyes, because they're stoned out of their heads, eating cereal from the box, giggling to themselves, maybe drooling, and just being,
The VR grid
affected by
said,
drugs in a bad way.
Oh, thank God he's not listening. I
can hear
hate
you,
PP.
Grid. I can hear you.
Minus
5XL
PSVR
will be there too,
said,
cooking a large pot of
I
chicken
love that.
soup. So,
Dave Station VR
what if?
said, yeah, Polish Paul sucks, I agree, Ryan.
Polish Paul,
Minus
we get Polish Paul in there?
Said, haha HAAA.
There you go, Minus is down for that. What if we have like a
The VR
situation
grid
where we have to
said,
have
oh shit,
5XL
that out
drop
loud?
the soup, and there might be like a key inside the soup, that we could find. Let's add that in. Possible key.
Chopped
Let me know what you think about that idea.
Said,
Who knows
I
what it
wanna be in a
unlocks?
smoke-filled
I'm not sure what that
gentleman's den.
unlocks.
The VR grid said,
I want to be
Creature
smoked.
plays is what I meant. 5XL.
I want to be in a smoke-filled
said,
gentleman's den.
Love it.
That's too classy.
Minus PSVR
For stoners. Let's be
said,
real.
Soup must be spilled.
The soup must be
Dave
spilled. So
Station
the
VR
puzzle is,
said,
how do you get 5XL
so many
to
tiny
spill the
PP
soup?
channels on PSVR YouTube.
Hey,
the Pumpkin
hey,
Patch
I heard
Kid
that.
Said,
So,
when
suck,
you look
suck.
out of a window, Kyle should pop saying I am a child and you never see him again.
There
Face
you go.
with tears
I've
of
included
joy.
Kyle's. I have included Kyle. Here he is down here. But next up is Suck Suck. He'll be spinning around in circles making Tasmanian tiger noises as he does in real life. And you won't be able to speak with him unless you find a way to calm him down. I put a suggestion here is to put Dragon Ball on TV because he's a big fan of Dragon Ball Z. We could put like an image on the TV screen. And maybe you need to talk to him to progress the story or give you a clue or something.
Chopped 517.
What do we think about that?
Said, see how us stoners are treated. Loudly crying.
How you
face.
deserve to be treated.
MR 777.
You'd be main characters
the
if
Pumpkin
you weren't
Patch
stoners.
Said, LOL.
Alright, now next up we have a suave tradition, and he'll be chatting to other guests. So I put Muzz, Deej, Rukia here, and I'm not too sure what to do with these guys. This can be
Dave
expanded
Station
upon.
VR
This is why I want you
said,
here.
This seems like there are a lot of character-specific mechanics just to get through the first scene.
Listen, relax.
It's the
Not
Pumpkin
necessarily
Patch
the
Kid.
first scene. That's not necessarily
Said,
the first scene.
Of course I'd be laughing at Tradition's jokes.
There you go.
That guy's so damn suave.
He fucking is,
The VR grid said, never watched a Word
Muzz,
doc
how
on
you doing?
YT before. Edgy.
I'm fucking breaking down all the boundaries. The new Hideo Kojima. Alright, have a bit of respect. So I think you
Minus
can see...
PSVR said, not going to lie, this sounds dope as shit.
There you go. We're excited. This is what we needed.
Aunt D
This is the
said,
inspiration we need.
LMAO.
Aunt D. And he didn't say even and all. How you doing, Aunt D? So he's talking to Muzz, Deej, Grukia. Maybe they're in a
The
little
VR
group
grid
talking to each other. He's
said,
cracking some jokes,
Move over,
making them
drive
laugh.
disrespect. Dave Station
Dr.
VR
Disrespect.
said, can you
Being
play
the
an Irish
life.
kung fu movie in the corner to keep it entertaining?
Shut the fuck up. Alright, this is the most entertaining shit you've seen all day. And don't pretend otherwise. Alright? So I think you can read, you can tell from
Chopped
this
517
that Tradition is my favourite. I
said,
shouldn't say it.
It will be ready by 2022.
And I know this is going to hurt
Minus
some feelings,
PSVR
but Traditions is my favourite.
Said,
There we go. I'm putting it
Catch
out
is
there.
going to be
Alright?
the best room in the house.
Kitchen.
Aunt D said,
Auntie.
evening all house
There we
everyone.
go, Auntie. How you doing?
Dave
So
Station
going
VR
near the locked toilet
said,
door.
LOL, I saw Dr. Disrespect's stream. He didn't do anything.
That's all he needs to
Pumpkins
do.
has put more effort
That's
into
all
this
he needs
Word
to
doc
do.
stream.
That is true.
Minus PSVR.
Listen, lads, I can't get a
said,
word in.
Racist.
It's racist. That's all I
MR
heard.
777
Going near the locked toilet door,
Pumpkin
you'll hear
Patch Kid
muffled audio of a woman
said,
giggling and
everyone
Miguel
needs to relax.
Espinosa
Yuck
saying
mouth B
things like El Pasión
said,
and El
that's
Fuego
BS. Dej
seductively.
the
So that's
Pumpkin Patch
implying
Kid
Miguel's
said,
having sex with a lady
BS.
in the toilet.
The VR grid
But we won't make sex
said,
noises or anything like that. It'll just
at
be a woman
Devastation
giggling
VRDD
and him
has
being
some
like
sick
that
transitions.
because we can't do sex. It has
The
to be
VR
clean.
grid
This is a family-friendly game.
said,
all right.
Go away pages. Men are
Yuk
talking
Milk
here.
B. What's? Oh, we haven't put Yuk
Dave
Milk B in
Station
here.
VR
He's one I've missed.
said,
Deej
he
says
used those
BS.
transitions to kill time when he had nothing interesting to do.
What's wrong, Deej? What's BS?
Chopped 517 said, "This stream is gonna take 5 HRS if people don't shut up." Dave Station VR said,
He uses transitions
which
to
was
kill
constantly,
time. You've nothing interesting to
Yuck
do.
Mout B.
The stream's going to
said,
take 5 hours.
Woman giggling and him crying would be funny.
Him crying. Miguel crying.
777 The Pumpkin Patch Kid said,
Alright, I'm sorry.
Everyone
I'll ignore the
shut
chat
the
until I
fuck
finish
up,
this.
LOL.
Alright?
The VR grid.
So this is going to be Miguel
said,
Espinosa's young
they
little
were the
cameo.
best part. The VR
A
grid
guest named Kyle.
said,
And we should probably make
I'm
him a
out.
child. No,
Have fun,
it'd be
ladies.
funnier if he's not a child.
Dave Station
What,
VR.
maybe, what do you think? This is where I'm
said,
opening this to input.
Longer stream equals more
A
ad
guest
revenue.
named Kyle will
We're
randomly
trying to
approach
help
the
him out.
player. And it
He
doesn't
has
have to be
kids to
randomly.
feed.
I like the idea that Deej was. Of maybe you look out a window and it's just Kyle staring at you saying, I'm a child. And then you never see him again. Like maybe it's like a unique event. You have to trigger us a certain way. He says, I'm a child, before running away. This is, of course, if you don't know, a reference to the fact that there is a person called Kyle. And he'll probably appear on this stream. Let me see. Has he come already? He hasn't come yet.
Chopped
But mark my words,
517
Kyle's will appear
said,
in the stream
he
and he
should
will
be a
say,
baby
I'm a
in a
child.
stroller.
And then he'll go. He won't say anything.
Pete Hawkins
Every stream,
said,
he does that.
Kyle needs to be a grown man, but in
Kyle
a
needs to be a
nappy.
grown man? Okay. I think that makes it creepier. I think that's funnier. I like that. Viewer Grid is leaving. Take care, Viewer Grid. Longer stream equals more ad revenue. We're trying to help him out. He has kids to feed. Dave gets it. Chopped. He should be a baby in a stroller. This changes things. I'm up for it. Let's discuss it, you know? Pete says he needs to be a grown man, but
Chopped
in a nappy.
517
Okay. A grown man in a
said,
stroller. See, we're
a
compromising.
grown man in a stroller.
And we're coming together and we're making fantastic ideas. And I think I like that. Let's lock that in. As a grown man in
MR
a stroller.
777 The Pumpkin Patch Kid
I'm going to say buggy
said,
or pram because we
or
don't
like
say
mini
stroller
me.
in Ireland. I don't like that
What's
word.
the Pumpkin Patch Kid
Alright.
said, there has to be a point in the game
Or
where
like
Cow
mini
runs
me.
up to you and throws money in your face and then runs away.
Oh shit, a cow
Fozzie
reference is Muzz where he just throws
927
money? Yeah, that's another one.
Said,
I like that. We'll add
a
that
grown
in.
man with a
Remind me
huge
to add that in
foreskin.
when we get to the end.
MR 777
Fuzzy
The
Bear,
Pumpkin
a grown
Patch
man
Kid
with large foreskin.
said,
How do
when
we
he
get
is in a
foreskin
stroller
into
and
this
shoots a
without it
dart.
being illegal for dreams? This is going to be a challenge we'll have to overcome. When he's in a stroller and shoots a dart. When he's in a stroller and shoots a dart. I don't get it. Explain that to me. Anyway, that's Kyle's. Next up is Pete Hawkins. And he'll be crawling around on the ceiling. But he can be lured down with calcium tablets for a conversation.
Chopped 517
So maybe you're looking for someone.
Said,
And Pete Hawkins knows
cow
where
with a
this person
strip pole
is.
making it
You
rain.
have to find calcium
Dave
tablets
Station VR
to lure Pete down.
said,
And then you can talk to him.
how come
Otherwise,
I
he's
don't
out
have
of
a wrench
reach
when
and you
mods are
can't talk to him.
suggesting big foreskin guys?
Cow with the strip pole making it rain. Oh yeah, a stripper pole for cow. Maybe cow's like watching a stripper, but who could we have be the stripper? And then he's making it rain on the stripper. Do you think that's legal? Dave Station says, how come I don't have a wrench when mods are suggesting... Wait, what? Are suggesting big foreskin guys. Dave Station, I believe I get bullied a lot from people like you for saying, oh, all your chas is mods. And now you're saying you want to be a mod. You want me to put more mods in there. There's too many mods. I need to cull the mods. So add more guests. This is where we'll add more guests. Let's see.
Chopped
Who did we say?
517
We said cow.
said, Dice is the stripper LOL.
Dice is
Dave
the DJ.
Station
He's
VR
already in it though. Can we get somebody
said,
you haven't used yet?
Your whole chat is mods.
Exactly. There you go. See? You're bullying me again, Dave. Cyber bullying me. Got cyber bullied in real life
Dave
once.
Station VR
Didn't like it.
said, everyone talking but me is a mod LOL.
There you go, Dave. You're like the girl sitting on the couch, and all the mods are like the black lads standing behind you, and one of them has the arm on your shoulder, and you're just like smiling. You don't know what's coming, Dave, but you're about to get the big blue wrench. That's what's going to happen. No, you're not going to get a big blue
Hawkins
wrench, but you know what I mean.
Said, "Can we have a decon smear over your windows? Just a subtle reference only is no about LOL."
Okay.
Chopped
I'm 100% down for a
517,
smear on a window.
Said
100%.
Tajiki. Roy Schwartz
Tasuki.
said,
Tasuki's already here.
"You got some ham yet?"
Oh, Roy. Oh, here we go. Roy has answered my question. How you doing, Roy, by the way? So, Cow714 is watching Roy Schwartz. Chwarts, I think. That's probably not how you spell us. It doesn't look right to me. If only there was a way to find out. Schwartz. Is that it?
MR777,
crazy name.
the pumpkin
It's a crazy
patch
name,
kid,
Roy.
Said, "Stripper should be Roy."
Yeah,
Dej
that's
the pumpkin
exactly.
patch kid.
On a
Said,
strip pole.
"Shake that ass, Roy, face with tears of joy, face with tears of joy."
And he's going to have bags of ham.
MR777, the pumpkin patch kid. Said,
Bags of
"Gigolo."
ham included. Making it rain on Roy. There we go. I feel like we're missing somebody. Somebody said another suggestion that I said, don't tell me about that, so that I don't forget it.
Roy Schwartz said, "I have bug bags of ham."
Bug bags of ham?
LMAO.
Disgusting.
Chopped 517 said, "I take it back, this will be ready by the release of PS6.
Well, it's up to ye. I can't do this by myself. I need a crack squad of designers, artists, sculptors, musicians. I need help.
What
This
about
is a team
FW
effort.
Frank on the pole singing his old intro? Dave Station VR
Firewall Frank reference?
Said, "I should have a villain mustache and a top hat. And a black
Dave
corduroy
Station.
blazer." Dave Station VR said, "But I didn't kill the guy. But you think I might have." Yuck Mouth B said,
Interesting.
"Just make all the game sounds
Yuck
with your
Mouth.
mouth." Yuck Mouth B
Make all the game sounds with your mouth.
would be hilarious.
Like footsteps. You want me to make footsteps with my mouth? Like, dum, 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 dum. I don't know. That might get tiring after a minute. Dave Station. I'm not sure about the... I like the idea of painting Dave
5XL
Station as a suspect.
said, "Frank can't sing his old intro.
Dave
he has
Station.
to yell something about Petrifying pumpkins."
Dave Station, potential. Suspect. We're going to have some... Like, let's have some blood on Dave. Or something that we think is
Pete
blood.
Hawkins said,
And then it turns out
"Haha,
it's not.
I like
it's
that
not,
5XL.
You know? What did 5XL say? Frank can't sing his old intro. He has to yell something about petrifying pumpkins. Wait, what?
5XL
Listen, this is getting messy.
said,
Alright?
"Or the killer could be Petrifying pumpkins."
What if the killer is my uncle who gave me the name the whole time at the very end? Nobody suspects it was him. He comes in, he's wearing the pumpkin mask, and he starts killing. Like, we could have more guests die throughout the course of the game. You know, just when you're convinced Dave Station is the killer, the lights go out again, he gets stabbed, he's dead. Anyway, let's finish this bit. At a certain point, the player can trigger a cutscene to advance the plot. The cutscene has all the guests in the same room as Pumpkins
Roy
makes
Schwartz
a toast, in the
said,
middle of which the lights go
"If
out.
you use a blue light, you can see what's on Dave's pants."
There is a lot of commotion when the lights come back on. Pumpkins is dead, murdered horrifically, and his body displayed for all the guests to see. We could make that like really gruesome. We could take inspiration from, I don't know if you watched Hannibal. Like every episode had a gruesome death. So then the guests discover that the doors have all been sealed and that the windows have been barred up, measures put in place by Pumpkins to prevent Karen from escaping. They come to the conclusion that the killer is among them, and Decepticon tasks the player with finding the killer, claiming the player is the most trustworthy one among them, as they are too new to have a reason to hate Pumpkin.
Chopped
The guests all
517
agree.
said,
What do you think?
"Can I be someone who dies?
Yeah, we can have you
in
be
my
done.
Wheaties."
Poison bong? Bad bong water. Okay. We could put some blood on the bong, and then that could be like a possible murder weapon.
The Pumpkin Patch Kid said, "GG."
GG. So then, what you'd be doing throughout the game then, after the murder takes place, Decepticon tells you, you find out who the killer is. Basically, you're interviewing the people, you're interacting with them. There'd be branching dialogue trees, if that's not too complicated to pull off. And there's like correct paths. If you say the right thing, you get some interesting information. You say the wrong thing, you don't. But we have to be careful, like what's a win stays, what's a fail stays. Do they need to have the right information?
VR
Can they repeat the questions?
Potential title, Blood in the Bong, a VR murder mystery.
Blood in the bong? Or blood on the bong? Blood in the bong. Not confirmed. Blood in the bong. Working title. God damn it. God damn it. Title. Alright, for now. Okay? And keep it for now, Dave.
Station VR.
Just to keep you happy.
Said, actually, I like on better.
Gotta do everything around here myself. Okay. So where do we go from here? That's the thing. I've done all this practically myself. So I think it's time ye pulled your ways. Where do we start? What links to what? Do we need a beginning, middle, end? This is the beginning, I guess.
You need to have the subtitle a VR murder mystery, though. So it pops.
Fucking hell, Dave. A VR murder mystery. Are you happy now, Dave? Are you happy? Is this going to be your sole contribution, Dave? You better pull up your socks. Alright? Okay. So, is the first thing we should do decide who is the real killer? And then work backwards from that?
Dave Station VR.
Should that be a thing?
Said. Looks perfect.
Looks
MR
perfect?
777 The Pumpkin Patch Kid.
Can you even say bong?
Said.
In dreams.
First I think we got to sculpt the characters after the plot is written.
Yeah, that's fine, but make sure the plot's there and the script is there. And then we start getting hands-on. And by we, I mean Jackpaws. I'm going to put a lot of this on your back, Jackpot. You're going to be carrying
MR
this, alright?
777 The Pumpkin Patch Kid.
He likes the idea so far.
Said. I like the idea so far.
Okay. That's good. So, thoughts on who should be
Dave
the killer?
Station VR. Said. I doubt we can use the word bong in a dream's title. MR 777 The Pumpkin Patch Kid.
Listen, that doesn't matter.
Said. Just use water pipe.
Blood on the water pipe. Listen, this is a working title. It's probably going to be completely
Dave
changed.
Station VR.
Except for this part.
Said.
We might keep this part.
Call it wetness on the water pipe.
Wetness. Moisture on the... And then you guys fill in the blank. Because I cannot do everything for you. I cannot spoon feed you this. Alright? I need to see your creativity. The ideas I've given you so far are profound. These ideas
MR
are going to send
777
reverberations around the world.
Said. Title can have a background picture that helps showing that it is. Dave Station VR.
But can you even depict a bong? Are you allowed to put a bong in the game?
But there aren't smoking devices starting with M. Roy Schwartz.
Smoking device.
Said. Smoking device.
Listen. Can we forget about the goddamn title
517
for a bit? Okay?
Said.
It's not important.
LOL.
It's the least important part.
That's just cause you got stumped. Dej the Pumpkin Patch Kid.
I'm not stumped. Alright? I got so many ideas.
Who smoked who?
But that's not important. I think we can't even come up with a title until we have the story. I think we should have the story
MR 777 The Pumpkin Patch Kid. Said. Yet I have copied and pasted a bong on dreams. If it's not allowed then we change OT.
Okay.
What's the Pumpkin Patch Kid?
Muzz is losing focus. There you go. See?
Losing focus.
We need to,
Dave Station
chop
VR.
chop. Alright?
Said. Maybe we switch it to cigarettes, moisture on the menthols, a VR murder mystery.
Listen, I'm refusing to speak about the title anymore. That is it. The next topic. Okay, let's go down to page 2. Who is the killer? And what is their
MR 777 The
motive?
Pumpkin Patch Kid.
Why do they want me
Said.
dead?
LOL Dave.
Let's make a suspect list first, maybe. Suspect list. Alright. Dave Station. Reason. Motive, I should say. Has always been jealous of pumpkins. I'm trying to narrow down one thing that Dave is jealous of, but maybe it's just pumpkins in general. I think he's always been jealous of me in every aspect, in every regard. My channel,
Dej the Pumpkin Patch Kid.
the content I produce,
Said.
my appearance,
Brian from PSVR
my accent,
without parole.
my life.
MR
Ooh, Brian, yes.
777 The Pumpkin Patch Kid. Said. Small Enos. Jade Max the Sim Racing Cat.
Brian
Said.
Paul.
LOL.
He's
Roy
the next
Schwartz.
suspect.
Said.
JD Max.
I smoked a wet
Lol.
cigarette once and almost died.
Roy, this isn't helpful. This isn't helpful, Roy. Maybe that can be like a quote. Maybe you can speak that line of dialogue. Brian Paul. Motive. What possible motive does he have?
Dicepticon.
Enjoys
Said. What if the Patch Kids are there to
crushing
help and you have to figure out
smaller
which jealous streamer has killed you?
YouTube
Dej the Pumpkin Patch Kid.
channels
Said.
in order.
He pulls a mask off
to
one us to
grow
reveal it was really
his
him all
own.
along. Like a Scooby-Doo plot. Dave Station VR. Said. Been jealous of you ever since I saw
There you
those
go.
little
Always
GTA
brings up-
5 movies
always
in
brings
my
up the
ears before
GTA
you ever
movies.
touched a VR headset
Always
when I was in
brings
the
them up.
trenches covering Surgeon Simulator VR.
You know what it is? It was when I got that shout-out at E3. Dave Station sat there on his couch. This motherfucking getting a shout-out at E3 with his 200 subscribers. What am I doing with my life? That's what was going through David Station's head at the time. But I digress. Deej says... No, wait, I missed that. Decepticon is here. How are you doing, Decepticon? I didn't know he was here. Have you been here for long? No, he hasn't. Has come to get moist. What if the Patch Kids are there to help you and you have to figure out which jealous streamer has killed you? So if you go that route, then the only possible suspects are going to be other streamers.
Dave Station
And
VR.
that's Dave.
Said.
That's Brian.
LOL I do not watch E3 videos on my couch on a television.
Shh. Dave, you rewatched it later on. You had like a beer in your hand, like a can of beans in your other hand, and you're in a white wife beater vest. You're just slouched.
Dave Station VR.
Slouched down. Depressed, you know?
My money is on gamertag as the killer.
Gamer tag?
Decepticon.
Oh man.
Said.
See, the cast is
Polish
getting out of
Paul.
control.
Pete
Now we're
Hawkins.
adding Polish Paul, we're adding
Said.
GT.
Maybe we all die.
Maybe
We just
all
produce
die.
so much moisture, the room fills up.
What if you don't correctly identify the killer? Every 5 minutes a different character dies. That's probably not possible, not feasible. Especially if some characters are necessary to progress the story.
MR 777 The Pumpkin Patch Kid. Said. How about GC?
Okay, if you're going to hit me with these, you got to remember, not just who, why. So what's the motive? If we put GT, if we put Polish Paul, what the motive? You know, what is the motive? Dave, always been jealous of me. Brian Paul, he absorbs smaller channels. That's how he grows his own.
Dave Station VR. Said.
GT.
The dead characters could leave behind notes or something to help you figure it out.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Dave Station VR.
I like that.
Said. Could still work. Dej the
Motive.
Pumpkin Patch Kid. Said.
Polish
What about the Xbox
Paul.
guy that said VR is dead?
The Xbox.
Yuck Mouth B.
Oh, Phil Spencer?
Said. Polish Paul is obviously the overlord. Yuck Mout B.
Motive.
Said.
That's not a motive. Being
That
an
lives in a
overlord
village.
is not a motive, though. You know. So GT is muscular. We could do something funny with
Dicepticon.
him being like really fucking
Said.
ripped.
He just talks in tongues.
Incomprehensible. But that's not a motive. We could put this as a character trait, you know. Incomprehensible. Maybe the only time you hear him is when maybe he only speaks in clickbait. You know? Maybe it's like, follow me into this room to see something amazing, and then you go into the room and it's, you know, I don't know. We need to be not let this spiral out of control
said,
as well. Let's keep this condensed.
I have a clue written in a pack of rolling papers they find on my dead body.
Chopped with the clue, but what's the clue for?
Pete Hawkins.
I think we need to figure out the
said,
killer first.
Paul's motive.
And then we put
wants
these
to take
details
over your
in.
Village.
Paul
Dave
wants to take
Station
over my
VR
village? Okay.
Said. That's a mechanic I like. I have never met a clickbait
Wants
NPC.
To invade. Or no. Conquer.
Roy Schwartz. Said.
My village.
They all just want the golden foreskin.
Roy Schwartz. Oh, that reminds me. Fozzie Bear has to be in here. Fozzie Bear with some reference to Five Skin. Because he's got so much foreskin. Now keep in mind, I don't think we should limit it to YouTube
Dedge
streamers.
the Pumpkin Patch Kid.
I want it to be anyone.
Said. Shouldn't Karen be the killer? She is the obvious one.
Karen's obvious. That's the problem. Karen's in. Did I not write Karen? Okay, so yeah, when I was describing that I wanted the sprawling mansion, I want there to be a clue that will lead you to a hidden passage, maybe in my bedroom. You go down to a basement level. Karen is in the cage, and then you talk to Karen. Maybe you can free her, or maybe she can just give you a clue. But that doesn't mean she can't be a suspect as well. Let's put Karen down as a suspect. I like that. She should be a suspect. Karen, because she's got motive. She's got more motive than anyone. Victim of pumpkins. Prisoner. Oh, that also corrected for me.
Chopped
Very
517.
Nice.
Said. Fozzie should be a creepy stuffed bear with a croc flap.
A crotch
Roy
flap?
Schwartz. Said. He's killed you for making that damn video.
He's killed you
Grinning
for making the
face
video.
with smiling eyes.
Wait, which video?
Dave Station VR. Said.
Who's killed me?
I think a much more interesting motive for my character is that you've never made me a moderator and I resent you for it.
Oh.
I'm thinking Guillermo on the What We Do in the Shadows TV show.
I haven't seen the TV show. I've seen the movie, but that was years ago, so I can't actually remember any of that either. But okay, let's go back to Dave Station. All right. He doesn't like the fact that I'm pointing out that he's jealous of me. It hits a nerve. It hits too close to home, so we will change it for him. All right.
Roy Schwartz.
Resentful.
Said.
I'm only messing, obviously. Oh, Hess. Shabs. Hess. We have to have some kind of a firewall representation in there. Resentful of never been given a blue wrench by pumpkins. All right. What's going on here? What's wrong? Never having been. All right. Okay, we'll use correct English, I guess. What's GT's motive? I don't think GT has one. Which would make him a good killer. Because he seems like he's very nice, you know? So you wouldn't expect it to be GT. Who else? I mean, Decepticon should be a suspect as well, I think. He's the one sending you on the wild goose chase.
Said. Only if you're gonna charge FCE for a season pass.
Decepticon. What would Decepticon's motive be? Decepticon, you tell me. Let's have a, let's get it out on the table. What do you hate about me, Decepticon? I know you want to say it. I know you want to get it off your chest.
Said.
I'm obvious.
I'm obvious.
You're obvious.
517.
But I still want you to be a suspect, even if you're
Dice
obvious.
has blood on the turntables. Pete Hawkins.
Everything.
Need to have Hess in it.
Need to have Hess in it.
Dicepticon.
As a suspect?
Everything.
Everything.
Dave Station VR. Said. Dicepticon's motive is unpaid royalties for all of the music you've used.
Has always resented Pumpkins for never paying for any of his music. Is that good enough?
Kyle's.
I told you, I'm a child.
I'm a child.
I told you. Kyle's, before you go, look. Before you go, let me show you something, Kyle's. Where is he? Don't go, Kyle's. Here he is. A guest named Kyle will randomly approach the player as a grown man in a buggy and say, I'm a child. Buggy doesn't sound right either. Let's say pram. And a nappy. And wearing a nappy. Is there 2 spaces? Yes, it is.
Dej the Pumpkin Patch Kid. Said. Dicepticon motive is never having a FW Easter egg and being forced to play in pumpkin attire.
Oh, that's a good one, Deej.
Kyle's. Said. Fucking brilliant.
Kyle's, for the first time in my life, has said something different.
Chicken Prem.
Look.
Pete Hawkins.
He said fucking brilliant.
Said. Hess has hired a contract killer to stop your firewall domination.
So Hess isn't there? He's sent a killer after me? Let's change that Decepticon.
MR
Motivation.
777 the Pumpkin Patch Kid. Said. So who is doing all the voices?
Well, I want to get as many of ye doing your voices as I can.
The people to send us recording of their lines.
That's what I would like.
Dicepticon.
Ideally.
Said. We need recordings. Dej the Pumpkin Patch Kid. Said. What? Kyle? MVP of the stream person raising both hands in celebration GG sir. Danny Kaka 0092. Said.
Why can't I see the chat on Twitch? Good question.
Dave Station VR. Said. I will be voicing Dicepticon's character and vice versa.
That could be entertaining.
Chopped 517.
The reason you're not seeing us is because they're YouTube.
At the end when they find the killer. Kyle should come back and say brilliant.
Fucking brilliant.
Dave Station
you can't
VR.
say fucking. Yeah, you're right. Brilliant.
Said. Dicepticon. Said. Ha.
This
Danny
is you
Kaka
down here.
0092.
This is you, Danny.
Said. Oh, I see.
You're my one Twitch viewer, and I've got 14 YouTube viewers. Alright, so I'm kind of a big deal. I'm kind of a hot shot on YouTube. I don't want to brag. Danny. Listen. Kind of a big deal. Don't worry, I'm not going to use the power that I have to influence you in any way. If you want to stay, stay. If you don't want to stay,
Danny Kaka 0092.
hit the road.
Said. I got plenty of leg room here.
Stretch them out, Danny. Stretch them out. Alright. Danny, this is going to be incomprehensible gibberish to you because this references my channel, references the people in the chat that you're seeing right now. But maybe it can be enjoyable. I don't know. Who else needs to be a suspect? Is Hess a suspect? And who do we like as the killer then? How are we going to narrow this down?
Said. I got 12 screens
12 screen going? Okay.
I'm padding your viewership.
Thank you. Can you all get 12 screens going, please? Danny, can you open up 12 more Twitch streams so I can bump up my numbers over there too? If it's not too much to ask. And I don't think it is. I'm over here giving you free entertainment and you're just sitting there watching. Not paying a cent. I'm not asking for much, am I? Didn't think so. David Station. So where is David Station in the house? I mean, do we need to create a layout of the house? Or is that something we can just make up as we go along? I mean, I want there to be a main hall as you go in. And then on the right, maybe there's the party area where Decepticons playing music.
Can the killer rotate every game, or is that impossible?
I think that's too much. What if we have it so that there's multiple endings? If you don't collect at the very end of the game, maybe you have like a time limit. Maybe when the clock hits midnight, you have to accuse someone. And you can get like multiple endings depending on who you accuse. But there is only one true killer. Maybe you can accuse all these guys. Like, let's say, okay, you accuse Decepticon because there's blood on his fucking, aim controller. Maybe he's got an aim controller somewhere in the house. And you find out that Decepticon is the one. I'm beaten to death by an aim controller. Maybe it was Decepticons.
Dicepticon said, Frank.
Frank is the killer? You want to put Frank down as a suspect? We'll put Frank as a suspect. But I want to hear a motive. What's the motive? There has to be some kind of a reason for it. That's why I'm putting 3 question marks.
Danny Coca0092 said, I tried duplicating the tab, it didn't work. What more do you want from me?
It worked, Danny. Look, I got 3. I got 3 of you guys over there on Twitch now. Can you just keep duplicating it, Danny? Don't stop.
Said,
nice work.
This thing will never get done. You need EA or Bethesda on this bitch. This is getting deep.
Listen, I know it sounds
Pumpkin
deep,
Patch Kid
but it is just one house with a certain amount of
I like
rooms.
Frank as the killer.
You
no
like
one
Frank
respects
as the killer.
his FW skills. Danny
nobody respects
0092
his firewall skills.
Said, I have 7 duplicates.
7
Roy
duplicates?
Schwartz
Okay, I'm going to need you to bust out more
said,
devices. Tablets,
You have an actual
phones,
accent.
laptops,
So Frank kills you.
desktops.
LOL.
Open up all the different devices, Danny. Good man. Let's pump those numbers. You have an actual accent, so Frank kills you. Lol. I kind of like Deej's one. I like Frank as the killer because nobody respects his firewall skills. But why would he take that out on me? Like, why would he kill me in particular? What's his beef with me? That's what I want. I want beef.
Said, I think after we make the puppets of everyone it should be easier.
There you go. And once we figure out dialogue trees, I think that could be, advance things a lot as well. And it's simple. These are simple gameplay mechanics. You're just looking around the house, looking at things and talking to people.
Patch Kid
no combat,
said, Because you are taking all the credit.
What credit? What credit?
517 said, You got 20 characters and more endings than a AAA title. LOL.
Yeah, but when I say endings, I'm talking about very small,
Station VR
very brief things,
Said, I think the game should start several years in the past, with you having been announced as a new moderator on the PSVR subreddit.
That's too advanced.
Station
That's too
VR
deep. Too deep.
Said, and then you can put together Frank's motive from there.
Now you're putting a timeline into
Pumpkin
things.
Patch Kid said, Hess is about to replace Frank with you as the face of FW.
Interesting. Hess considering replacing with pumpkins at FCE. Hess, if you're watching, good idea. That's a good idea, I think. No offense, Frank, but let me just have your life, alright? Let me steal your life, Frank. Let me wear your face. Alright? I don't think that's too much to ask. I asked my friend over here on Twitch to boost my numbers and he's done it. Okay. So is Frank the killer? And if he is the killer, like, how does he fit into this? He's in the mansion? What's he doing? How do we make him look like he's not the killer? How do we make it a surprise? What's the clue that gives him away? How does he do it? You know? Okay. So I think we need to add... I think we have enough suspects.
Danny Coca0092 has joined the pumpkin patch.
Thank you, Danny. I appreciate it. Joining my patch. One day I'll get a presence on Twitch and you won't be alone. And you won't have to do these underhanded tactics, Danny. One day. But from now on, I'm going to need you to do this, alright? Thank you.
Dead_I_Dan66.
Dead-Eye Dan.
Said,
Oh, Dead-Eye Dan.
sounds like Frank will be wearing your face.
Dead-Eye Dan. That's yes. That's a good point, Dead-Eye Dan. I want Dead-Eye Dan to be in a room somewhere with a blow-up doll.
Judge the Pumpkin Patch Kid.
With like just enormous.
Said,
well, we got to keep that
Frank
clean.
is on the stripper pole with Cow in full view of the room and what's going on.
Hold on a sec. Let's read that. G says Frank is on the stripper pole with Cow. You mean he's dancing up there with Cow? In full view
Dave
of
Station VR
of the room and what's going on.
Said, gotta leave to have a video call with the family. Make my character more interesting than potential suspect while I'm gone.
Dave, nobody else is
Dave
making
Station
demands.
VR
Nobody else is making demands.
Said,
alright?
Everyone
Don't be
else
a
is
diva.
doing something in the game.
And
Dave
Chopped
Station VR
has donated.
said, I'm just shady.
Listen, this isn't fleshed out. Just relax. Just take it easy. Okay, let's just get the basics down and then we can flesh things out a little bit. Chopped, thank you very much for that generosity. I don't know why it hasn't popped yet. There is a delay sometimes with this. I don't know why. But he said, so I charge $150 an hour for voiceover work. Alright, I'm going to need you to start donating $150 every hour. Okay, pick up the space and get your refund. Okay, so Dead-Eye Dan.
Roy Schwartz said,
With the blow-up doll.
Shady Dave has a ring to it.
Okay. Have I put Dave Station in already? Into this section? Let me put a paragraph break in here. It's getting a bit thick. With 2 C's. Okay. So let's get a new paragraph. Dave Station is... There it is. There she is.
So I charge $150 an hour for voiceover work.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chopped, for that generosity. Once again. Dave Station is hanging around in like, maybe we can get him in like a trench coat and sunglasses, just looking as suspicious as possible. Is it possible that we could have him like open up his jacket like a stripper or a stalker? Flasher is what I wanted to say. And then have something underneath that, like not naked, but like something that will subvert our expectations. Something Dave related, just to keep him happy, you know, because he's like, make me special, you know. I'm a special snowflake. Nobody else should be unique. I'm the only one who should be unique. You know, it's just like he's coming in here. He's stomping on everything we're working on. Not just me. This is our baby. And you're letting Dave come in here and you're letting him walk all over it. So I think maybe you should man up. Right? Just a little advice. Okay? Shady Dave. Will we call him Shady Dave?
5XL said, Dave Station has to be facing towards a wall and he can turn around and say, well, hello.
Oh,
I didn't see you there.
Dave Station is
Dead_I_Dan66
corner.
said, a clue taped over his junk. Gyson
Proximity
said,
triggers
splashing seat symbol,
turning around
Dicepticon
and saying,
said, have him in the corner like Blair
didn't
Witch.
see you. I was thinking Blair Witch when
Judge
he
the
said
Pumpkin
it.
Patch Kid said, Gyson fist hand sign
Okay, so Dave
Gyson
Station is
said,
okay in
so what is the
spooky
plot?
room.
Chopped 517
So when I say spooky room,
said,
we want to recreate
with
the
a
Blair
cat
Witch.
face over his junk. Gyson
Blair
said,
Witch
Dej fist hand sign
inspired. facing the corner. And then when you get close to him, that's what I mean when I say proximity trigger. He turns around and says, "Oh, didn't see you there." Oh, you know what he does. What did I miss?
Dej the Pumpkin Patch Kid said, GC face over his junk face with tears of joy.
Deadeye says, a
MR
clue taped over his
the
junk.
Pumpkin Patch Kid said, or we can do a rated R and just send it privately and do a clean version for everyone to play.
I don't know about that. That's a lot of work. That's a lot, like 2 versions, director's cut. I don't know. Maybe if we get the clean one out first, and then we can go back and edit. Geisen is here, and he's moist. Oh, we need Geisen. Okay, I'm going to add Geisen into this crowd here, that I'm not sure what to do with them yet. Geisen. We need to expand on these guys. Tradition, Muzz, Deej, Rukia, Geisen. They need to be expanded on. Like, have their things that are unique to them. Decepticon says, I have him in the have him in the corner like Blair Witch. I read that already, or I heard it already. So what is the plot? Murder mystery. You're invited to my manor.
Dicepticon.
You are
said
a new
fist
subscriber.
Bumps. Dicepticon said.
Fist bumps.
Fist bumps for something.
Oh yes. He just goes around fist bumping everyone in the circle. He's like bump, bump us, bump us, bump us. All right. Or maybe we'll just have him wandering around the house fist bumping. Maybe he won't be in that group. He'll just walk around permanently with his fist out like this. I like that
Roy
idea.
Schwartz said, Geisen is always fist hand signed edge.
Okay, let's put Geisen in here. Geisen wanders around constantly fist bumping. I like that.
Dej the Pumpkin Patch Kid.
With a cat face
said,
over his junk?
You get one as well, Roy fist hand sign.
Chopped? Is that Dave? Put a cat in his junk? I don't know. I think we gotta avoid the junk. For no filth. We can't have filth. It has to be clean. If we're gonna have filth, it has to be abstract filth. You know? You get one as well, Roy, says Deej. Okay. Whoops. That didn't mess up things, did it? No, we're good. Okay, where was I? Okay, so Shady Dave Station. Let's call him Shady Dave. That's too much for a mouthful otherwise. Is in a spooky... Let's say basement.
Roy Schwartz.
Let's put him in the basement.
Said. Grinning face with smiling eyes.
Facing corner. Proximity triggers him turning around saying, I didn't see you there. Let's just rip that quote directly from that video he did. What else? What else do we want to expand upon? Okay. Muzz should have some Canadian related activity going on. How about we take Muzz out of here? Okay. And we put Muzz outside the kitchen. So possible key. I want the solution. Okay, so here's the thing. Muzz will have maple syrup that the player can collect from Muzz. And then you put it on the floor. 5XL trip like gets stuck in the maple syrup. He spills the pot. Then you can get the key out of the pot. So Muzz and 5XL are linked in that key puzzle. That key will unlock the basement where David Station is lurking, or, can unlock an attic, secret passage, something.
Mutz the Pumpkin Patch
How do you
Kid
like the sound of that?
Said. I should be constantly sipping from a bottle of maple syrup.
Exactly. We have to get the maple syrup. You have to give it to us.
5XL. Said.
You like that?
Nice.
Muzz plus maple syrup. So I don't think he should just give it to us though. Like we might have to do like a conversation and we have to say the right things to Muzz.
Dicepticon.
Like Canadian things.
Said. Have Dave look like Karen sitting where Karen would be. Roy Schwartz said. Tap a tree Mutz.
I like that one.
Mutz the Pumpkin Patch Kid.
Oh, he's freed
said,
Karen.
If the player knocks it out of my hands at the right spot. Dicepticon.
Is that complicated
said,
though? Is that too complicated?
So people think they are coming across Karen, but it's Dave.
I like the idea of that.
Said. Shunjeet.
Shunjeet, how you doing, Shunjeet? Welcome.
Said, Trigger Geisen to first pump Mutz to get the syrup.
Trigger Geisen to fist bump Muzz to get the syrup. I'm not sure I understand what you mean by that. I mean, he's going to be going around fist bumping everyone. I need more details. But, okay. So, Dave is in the basement. In Karen's cage. With his back turned. Blair Witch inspired. Then he turns around. You realize he's wearing a wig. He's got the beard. It's actually Dave. So then at that point...
moment. Said.
Shunjeet.
It's a Shungate moment.
Okay, it's a Shungate moment. Alright.
Marcusor.
Marcusor, what's up?
This is shaping up to be an epic tale.
I hope you'll enjoy it, Marcusor. Nobody's going to understand us. Who, like, random person who comes across it's going to be like, what the fuck was this? So at this point forward, Dave will reveal... Okay. Dave will reveal he has freed Karen. From this point forward, Karen is a main suspect. What if... Okay, so where do we find Karen then? If she's been freed from the cage, where does she run to? Does she have Stockholm Syndrome? Is she happy that I'm dead? Or when we come across her, is she like, you know, absolutely in despair? You can say, you're free now, Karen. You can go. And she's like, no, I love Master. I must stay with Master. That kind of a thing.
Pete Hawkins said, we should have Brother Stephen in it.
Brother
having
Stephen?
an affair with the voice of Karen.
Brother Stephen having an affair with the voice of Karen. If anyone is skilled enough to make an electric wheelchair, then I'm down to have a Stephen Hawkins Easter egg.
Chopped 517 said, I think Karen should be the killer for being held hostage and talking for everyone.
I don't
Roy
mind.
Schwartz
I don't mind if Karen's the killer.
said,
like, I'm down for Karen being the killer.
Jump scare Karen.
Oh, jump scare Karen. Okay. Roy has inspired this next idea. Dave frees her from the cage. And he's like, oh, she went that way. So then you go down this hallway. And it's like a maze.
Said. Maybe another basement after Dave. It goes deeper.
There you go. That's what I mean. So there's another section of the basement. A maze-like area. Not necessarily like a maze, but you know. A series of corridors designed so that if Karen ever escaped, she would be trapped in this maze. And then that could be like a horror segment of the game where Karen like is like fucking jump scaring you, like Roy said. And if you get caught by her, well, I don't know, will she kill you? Or is it just a spooky segment like atmosphere? Anyway. Karen is deeper in the basement in a maze-like series of
Roy Schwartz
corridors.
Said, LOL yes. Dead underscore I underscore Dan 66
horror segment
said, Karen in the dungeon.
The player must find Karen in the maze while spooky shit happens. Like, not necessarily supernatural stuff, but you know, just atmospheric. Maybe the lights go out. Maybe you have to find a candle and you use the candle for light, if that's possible. While spooky stuff happens. I think we should have other characters in the maze. Maybe this is where we put Deej and Rukia. Maybe Deej.
Clever
Okay.
Trev Gaming
Oh, clever
said.
Trev is here.
Ooh, what do we have going on here?
Clever Trev, we are designing the perfect dreams game. That's going to be released as a separate game. Once the Media Molecule see us, they're going to be like, oh my god, this is incredible. We're hiring everyone. We all want you working here. And we'll all get hired. What do you think? What if we have Deej in the maze? And he's like the jump scare character. He goes around saying, oi, oi, oi. Because Deej, his thing is oi, oi, oi. You know? You hear oi, oi, oi. And then that means you know he's getting closer. You gotta hide. Maybe we'll have like lockers or something
Dej
you can
the
hide
Pumpkin
in.
Patch Kid said. Can Karen keep popping up as a narrator at certain parts of the story?
Ooh.
Dead_I_Dan66
That's an interesting idea.
said. Scary place like where your sex swing is.
I don't know what you're talking about, Dave.
Clever Trev Gaming said. Ha, the perfect dreams game you say.
The perfect
Dej the
dreams
Pumpkin
game.
Patch Kid said. Haha, I like it.
Deej likes us? Alright. What about
Chopped 517 said. You should have Rukia's drawings up on the walls and Rukia in the maze painting.
Is there a way to import things like that into the
Dicepticon
game?
said. You get text MSGS from Dej that he's going to show up at some point but doesn't. Roy Schwartz said.
That'd be a
In the
good one.
dungeon, don't forget the snake.
Don't forget the
Pete
snake.
Hawkins said.
Slithery snake.
Maybe the whole point of the game is the player needs to rescue Karen via asking question with each house member, clues to her location, or just how to access it.
Well, that
Clever
can
Trev
be
Gaming
one part of the game.
said. So a murder mystery, something
Yes.
like Myst?
I've never played Myst.
Or what other game would you compare it to?
What would I compare it to?
Dej the Pumpkin Patch
Okay.
Kid said.
Uh,
Ha ha ha.
I
What's
would
the
compare it
Pumpkin
to...
Patch Kid?
Let me just get this comment out of the way
Said.
here.
Cousin
From
Justin
Muzz.
needs to be the greeter at the door
Cousin
telling you
Justin.
to like and subscribe and go screw yourself.
Yes. Excellent shout out by Muzz. Hold on a sec. Let me write that somewhere. We just put Cousin Justin here so that we don't forget. Okay, what was I asked? What was I saying to Clever Trev? So
Chopped 500.
I would compare it to that mission in
Said.
Oblivion. Who done it?
The movie or game Clue.
Or yeah, Clue.
Dicepticon
Clue basically. Yeah.
said. Maybe Cousin Justin is behind a door since nobody knows who he is.
Maybe he's your driver. Maybe
Dej
you
the
arrive
Pumpkin
in a
Patch Kid
limousine
said. How many
and he's
rooms will be
behind the
used?
glass.
Will that
know?
help to develop the story?
Deej says,
Pete
how many
Hawkins
rooms will be used?
said.
Okay.
He's the bouncer.
Bouncer,
Dicepticon
driver, what do we want him
Said.
as?
He slides the thing where you Jason see his eyes.
He pulls it back. And he's like, go fuck yourself. Don't forget to go fuck yourself. And then he dings a
Dicepticon
bell.
Said. The driver, that's good.
He could have that glass thing on his partition in the limousine, you know? We can make that work both ways.
Roy Schwartz
I like that idea for Justin.
said. Don't forget about Ernesto.
Oh,
with
we
a
can't
frying
say go
pan
fuck
and
yourself.
Sharp shells.
We can't say go fuck yourself. No bad language. We cannot use bad language. So how do we change that to something else? We'll have to come up with something different. So Deej says how many rooms will be used? So I think we should establish the main rooms. So there's going to be the entrance, the hallway, where I imagine there's going to be like a big flight of stairs going up to the upstairs area.
Moots the Pumpkin Patch
And maybe
Kid
two different wings
said.
and a basement level.
Go screw yourself.
Go screw yourself?
Dicepticon
Even that might be too much for dreams. I don't
said.
know. Are you allowed to say that?
Damn Ernesto.
Ernesto, yeah. From Roy, he says, don't forget Ernesto with a frying pan and sharp shells. Seeing as Ernesto doesn't really visit the channel anymore, I'm willing to just have a frying pan
Said.
branded Ernesto.
Like, sub, and go.
And then the bell sound. When he says go fuck yourself, the fuck gets
Dicepticon
cut out with a bell.
Said.
Ding the bell.
Then he slams the window shut.
Okay. Yeah, that could work too.
Dej the Pumpkin Patch Kid said. We could always add beeps for swear words.
That's possible too,
Dyson
Deej. I like that. Sometimes it
said.
sounds better when you add a beep.
Here is
somehow.
a twist in the end. Karen was pumps the whole time and it was Karen who got murdered in the beginning.
It would be kind of cool to throw something crazy like that. Where I was alive the whole time,
Dicepticon
manipulating you from the
Said.
shadows.
That's good Gyson.
So did I kill Karen?
Clever Trev Gaming.
Is that what you want to
Said.
do?
Keep in mind, the dream's thermo can get full very quick. You may need to link different rooms via different scenes.
I'm fine with linking
as opposed
rooms.
to having all of Thug Game in one scene.
I'm perfectly fine with there being
Dej the
doorways
Pumpkin Patch
everywhere.
Kid.
That's fine with me.
Said. Like Saw? 5XL.
Like Saw.
Said. Go poof yourself.
Oh, poof yourself. That looks good. Okay. So let's focus on the Cousin Justin part right now then. The game begins as the player arrives in a limousine. How do you spell limousine? Is that correct? No, this is correct. Whoops. In a limousine being driven by Cousin Justin. He slides the partition and says his catchphrase. We'll get into the script, like we might do like a script later on, just to go into the actual dialogue and stuff. But we don't want to muddy this too much
Important.
with details.
Said. It was Colonel Mustard in the study with the candlestick.
Hello, Important. How are you doing? Welcome to the chat. So, pumpkins. Okay, then we got to jump down to the killer list.
Pete Hawkins. Said. He says you wanna play a game like in Saw, haha.
Oh, he says you want to play a game. Motive. Oh, that's a good question. Why would I do this? If it is me pretending to be Karen, or Karen pretending to be me, what's the point? Why did I do it? Pumpkins in disguise as Karen. What is the motive? I like this idea though. What do you think? Maybe I just like it because it makes me the killer.
Chopped
What do you think?
517. Said. You should have Petty as a lizard in a tank licking his eyes. LOL.
Petey in a lizard as a tank. I've got Petey on the ceiling as a lizard, basically. Where did I put him? Pete. Pete Hawkins will be crawling around on the ceiling, but can be lured down with calcium tablets for a conversation. So maybe Pete saw something. You know? Maybe Pete's on the ceiling. Maybe he says he saw a woman with blonde hair. We'll say Karen has a blonde hair. Maybe he saw her running away from the scene of the crime. But to get more details on which direction she ran,
Pete
we've got to
Hawkins
lure him down with some calcium tablets.
Said. Haha.
What do you
What's
think?
the Pumpkin Patch Kid? Said. You didn't kill her. You sensed a plot to kill you, so you had Karen take your place.
Interesting. Okay. Interesting. So I'm not the killer then. Whoa. Pumpkins is in disguise as Karen, not the killer. But I would be a suspect. And the reason I'd be a suspect is because not really dead. Or faked death.
Chopped 517.
So then who's the real killer?
Said. I've always pictured Karen as a ginger.
We could make her a ginger. It doesn't really matter. Whatever you think. Actually, Jackpot's already met her as a blonde. That's why I'm picturing her as a blonde in my head. But I'm okay with changing that. Maybe I make her dye her hair a different color. So I like to spice things up, you know? Okay. So you come into the main... Okay, there's going to be a front door. You come out in the limousine. Cousin Justin tells you to go fuck yourself. Or go poof yourself. You go into the main door. It's probably going to be a loading screen then. Like a little bit of a loading screen. And then you're in the main hall.
Pete Hawkins.
With a staircase going up.
Said. You dressed up as Karen once.
Whoops.
And loved wearing woman's clothing. So you have the disguise.
So you have the disguise. Okay, I'm fine. Look, I understand the logistics behind. Okay, no, I'm confused again. So I am dressed as Karen? Is that what we're saying? We still don't have the killer. I think this is going to be very difficult until we can agree on who should be the killer. David Station, resentful of never having been given a blue wrench. Brian Paul, crushes small YouTube channels. GT, I'm taking GT out because we can't even think of a motive
Dead
for GT.
_I_Dan66 said, but you're wearing a Karen suit so we don't know you're alive.
But Karen is like on the run. I want for a portion of this game to be hunting Karen down, basically. Not hunting her, but trying to find her so we can talk to her. So that's why we go down to the basement. We see her cage, but then it's Dave Station in disguise as Karen, freeing her because, he thinks it's wrong what I'm doing to Karen, basically. So then we have to go into the maze to find Karen, but why do we want to find Karen? What information does she have? Is she number one suspect? Yeah, she should be a suspect because she's a prisoner, a victim. So finding Karen then must be like late game, end game content. Finding Karen. Who do we like as the killer? I don't think it's Dave Station. Although I like the idea Dave Station is shady with the Blair Witch reference. Brian Paul, I feel like having Brian Paul, or maybe like a cat that represents Brian Paul somewhere, could be good. Or a meow. You hear her scraping at the door outside.
Dead _I_Dan66 said, Decepticon.
Decepticon?
Dej the Pumpkin Patch Kid.
I like Decepticon.
Said, we need to find Karen so we can get the potato hotline up and running again.
Okay. Polish Paul wants to conquer my village. I don't really... You know what? I'll be honest. I don't like that. I don't like that motive. So unless we come up with a better motive, I don't like Paul as a suspect.
Finding Karen is to question her why she was in prison.
But we know why she's in prison. Because she has to operate the voice
Polish
chat.
Paul is the killer cause Noon understands him.
But that's...
It's the Pumpkin Patch Kid. Said. Donnie is the killer. Disguising himself as everyone else in the house.
Oh, you just got me an idea for Donnie. Muzz, you're good with the ideas. You're thinking about Dear Donnie. Disguising himself as everyone else in the house. But I'm thinking of Daniel. The reason I don't like Polish Paul doesn't even come to the channel very much. Not that that's... And there's nothing wrong with that. That's fine. But I would rather the killer be someone tight-knit. Someone who's always in the streams. Someone that anyone who watches the streams will know of. Rather than having to rely that they know him from somewhere else. So I like it being someone talking to me right now in the chat, basically. Would be a good idea. Decepticon would be a good one. Donnie is the killer. I like the idea that Donnie, he can't speak. And he hands you these notes. And his notes are all indecipherable.
Resentful of your firewall Easter eggs and non-payment for his music. Gyson.
Yeah, we got that.
Said.
That's a good reason for Decepticon.
But why Karen as the voice and not anyone else? Pete Hawkins.
But why Karen is the voice and not anyone else? Okay.
In the basement,
we could explore
we need to see barrels of your stored super jizz.
We can put suspicious barrels in the basement. Never labeled them, though.
Okay then, Polish Paul is the branding on your refrigerator.
I like that, Chops.
Dej the Pumpkin Patch Kid.
That's a good idea.
Said. Tajiki has killed Pumpkin because he is sick of playing FW and can't take it anymore.
Tsuki could be a good one. That's because nobody suspected him until now. That's the first time someone suggested him. I still like Decepticon as a potential killer, but he said himself that's pretty obvious. Would he resent me for his Easter egg being removed? Anyway, going back to what Gyson said. What if we go into Karen's cage where Dave is and she's got these diaries you can read that tells the backstory of Karen, entry 1, and then, she descends into madness and Stockholm
Chopped
Syndrome
517
as we keep reading her diary entries.
said, Dice is the killer cause he's working for Alvo.
Ooh,
Pete Hawkins
I like that.
said, Tajiki just because Tajiki don't like it.
I don't
What's
like
the pumpkin
it.
patch
I
kid?
don't like it.
Said, Tajiki
Suki
is the killer and at the end you can play Tajiki don't like it.
Okay, I'm putting Tsuki. Tsuki. And his motive is sick of Firewall and he just doesn't like it. I still like the idea that you can accuse any of these people at the end of the game. Any of these
Chopped
people you can accuse.
517
And then we play a small
said,
cutscene depending on who you choose.
Suck should be complaining about something.
Suck should be complaining about something. What do we have him doing? I think we have him like just spinning around like the Tasmanian tiger. Devil? Tasmanian devil. The Taz in
Rogue
Tasmania. Oh,
said,
Rogue!
With Tajiki's personality, do you need a motive?
No, just because we could just say, oh, just because I don't like it, and then it cuts to the song Tsuki Don't Like It played at a deafening level. That could work. But now that Rogue is here, I think we need to fit Rogue in here somewhere. Rogue being an Australian. Top of the morning to you, Rogue. Where would Rogue go? Would he be a suspect? Deej. Okay. So we could have... Okay, I like the idea that Decepticon had earlier on for Deej. I'm going to take him out here. Where sporadically throughout this,
Pete Hawkins
Deej will message you on
said,
your phone or an email or whatever.
Tajiki killed you because you wouldn't run away with him to NMS.
To No Man's Sky.
Rogue Edger said, please no knife size references.
No knife size reference? Okay, let me write Deej in here. It should be near the beginning. You get a message on your phone from Deej saying, oh, I'll meet you. Come to the
Chopped
kitchen.
517
I'll meet you there. And then you get to the kitchen. He's like,
said,
you get a message. Oh, sorry.
Rogue kills you with
Busy.
scorpion poison.
Rogue kills you
Dicepticon
with scorpion poison.
said, I'll be there soon.
I'll be there soon.
Moots the pumpkin patch kid said,
Oh, spiders.
Rogue holding and petting his giant spider in the corner.
I like Rogue. Okay, let me get Deej in there first, and then we'll get Rogue in there. Pumpkins leave, blah blah blah. Conversations. Okay. The player receives a text from Deej saying he'll be there soon. Texts pop up sporadically
Dej the pumpkin patch
throughout
kid
the game.
said, if the player is the
Where
detective, should I be the backup that never arrives?
Keeps
Pete Hawkins
what's the word?
said,
Keeps stalling? No, not stalling.
This is getting crazy complex.
Just relax, alright? It's just going to be a text pop-up. I'm pretty sure that's like the simplest thing you can do in this game. Apparently I've spelled this incorrectly. Periodically? Oh, it's a suggestion. I'll change it to periodically. I like that. That's better. Makes more sense. Where he keeps making excuses for not being there. Okay, I like that. That's Deej. What do you think, Deej? Deej says, if the player is the detective, should I be the backup that never arrives? Well, the player isn't the detective. It's just that Decepticon tasks him with finding the killer.
Said,
because he's the least
gonna
suspicious.
need to get Steven Spielberg on this shit.
Listen, Steven Spielberg is a washed up hack. And he's watching this right now to try and get inspiration. He's like, oh my god, this guy's brain. You know, he's siphoning ideas out of my head. Trying to. My ideas are too profound for him to grasp completely, but he might get inspired. What did I say I wanted to do after Deej? Rogue. Okay. We can have Rogue in the basement. In the maze in the basement. Okay. Rogue. Did I spell that wrong? Whatever. Rogue cameo in the basement maze with Spider. Alright? Easy peasy. At a certain point, the player can trigger a cutscene to advance the plot. Cutscene has all the guests in the same room as Pumpkin makes the toast. Okay, so this should be back. Let's copy this.
Chopped 517 said, "Bro, ideas are just sliding off that smooth brain."
It's insane. The player. Let's push this down here. Pop that there. And make that like that. So we got a nice even flow, and then I get rid of this. Okay. Now we got a nice flow going. Game first person, blah blah blah. So you start in a limousine, being driven by cousin Justin. He tells you to go fuck yourself. You go inside the house. Pumpkin welcomes you at the door, but when Pumpkin welcomes you at the door, it's not really Pumpkin. That's Karen pretending to be Pumpkin. Is that what we're saying? Is that what we're going with? Karen in disguise welcomes the player, announces their arrival to the Pumpkin Patch Kids, insisting that no real names be used and everyone go by their YouTube handle. So I leave, Karen leaves, giving the player the opportunity to wander around the manor and mingle with guests, eat, drink, interact with some objects. So at this phase, you're just dicking around. Probably no conversation trees yet, just maybe you go up to someone, maybe they're having a conversation, or maybe they just make a canned dialogue response every time you press X or something when you go near them. Conversations with guests will have branching dialogue trees.
Chopped 517 said,
Laser on.
"Man, you got me minus
when
and jackpot in the kitchen.
Investigating.
Crackheads get high in a kitchen. We get high in our living rooms."
Okay, that's another room though. So I guess we put you in the room where Tsuki is. Where are you? At a certain point. Okay. Player receives a message from Deej saying he'll be there soon. Text pop up, blah blah blah. Blah blah blah. Decepticon will be DJing on the decks. The player can request a song. Jackpot Chop and Muzz and Minus will be in the living room. Red-eyed and eating cereal from the box and giggling to themselves. 5XL will be
Dicepticon
in the kitchen.
said, "A room filled with smoke and coughing coming from all directions."
Yes. Filled with smoke. Poor Tsuki in that room. Cooking a large pot of chicken soup. Okay, so that's the key. That's going to be a little puzzle thing that will involve Muzz. So I guess we have Muzz in the kitchen too. Muzz is like fucking licking maple syrup off his dick or something. Suck will be spinning around in circles in the living room. Maybe the stoners are just watching Tsuki spin around in circles and they're being entertained. Making Taz noises. You won't be able to speak to him unless you find a way to calm him down first. This is all optional. Like, do we want to have Tsuki?
Chopped 517
like, what will he reveal to us?
said, Better. Easier to have us lounged out on a couch.
Alright, we'll get you on a couch and we'll have you just watching Tsuki spin around and you'll just be like, you know, you'll record your laugh and Minus will have a laugh. And who's the other stoner? Jackpot. You ask the stoners if they've seen anything, and they'll just like spout nonsense at you because, you know, they're too stoned out of their heads to be of any use to anyone, just like real life. Where am I?
Chopped 517.
Too stoned to hold.
Said. All gotta be smoking
Conversation.
something.
Too stoned to hold a... What's the word I'm trying to think of? Logical conversation? That's not really the correct phrase. A correct conversation. Come on. There's a word for it. Has to be there. Meaningful?
Chopped 517. Said. We just laugh at ya and say we ain't seen nothing.
Yeah. Something like that. 5XL will be there in the kitchen cooking a large pot of chicken soup. We're going to have to get that oh shit. Oh no, we can't have oh shit. Fuck, I keep forgetting. No swearing.
Dead_I_Dan 66.
Oh, maybe oh poof.
Said.
Change it to poof.
Coherent.
Coherent. Dead
Roy
I
Schwartz.
Dan.
Said.
I didn't know you were a languager.
Intellectual.
Intellectual. That works too. Let's go coherent though. I like that. 5XL will be there in the kitchen. Blah blah blah. Possible key puzzle. With Muzz and maple syrup. So what you'll have to do is get the maple syrup from Muzz, spill it in an area
Chopped 517.
where 5XL will slip on us.
Said. How about an O and a shit emoji? Chopped 517.
Oh shit emoji.
Said. Pile of feces.
Feces.
Chopped 517. Said. Oh pile of feces.
Maybe he could just say oh pile of feces. Maybe he could just say oh excrement. If he just says the correct term for it instead of shit, maybe he can get away with that. Suck Suck spinning around in circles in the living room making Taz noises. Okay, so what does Suck Suck tell us? If we're going to have Tasuki be the killer, which I think is what we said we were going to do. If Tasuki's the killer, he should probably say something that'll give a tiny hint that the player can pick up on. But I can't think of anything right now. A suave tradition will be chatting to the other guests. I guess Rukia. Just Rukia. We'll be chatting to Rukia in the living room / lobby / large event room.
Dicepticon.
I guess this is the area I die in.
Said. Maybe Suck Suck gives you the key to the basement.
Suck Suck gives you the key to the basement. Does that mean we get rid of the... What are we doing? Okay, so if Suck Suck gives you the key to the basement, then what's this key for here? The attic? Do we want to have an attic section? And if so, what's in the attic? The real Pumpkins is in the attic dressed as Karen? Let's say he never finds her in the basement.
Dicepticon. Said. That key will be for a different room.
Okay. Let's just say key... attic key. Puzzle.
Chopped 517. Said. Secret room in the basement.
Secret... I mean, we could add more keys. I like the idea of an
Does
attic,
the pumpkin
so that we
patch
have a
kid.
reason to go upstairs.
Said. When he is spinning around and you interact with him, a key drops on the floor.
Deej. When he's spinning around, that you interact with him, a key drops on the floor. Is that what we want? Or do we want it to when he stops spinning? Well, maybe that's like how tricky is it going to be to animate him spinning around fast? Is Jackpot still there? I don't know if he's still there. Or Clever Trev? I don't know if they're still there. they might know about that. Okay. So keep in mind we're thinking about another room. Either attic or a secret room in the basement or whatever. And we have to figure out what's going to be in that room. And all the while, you know, it'd be cool to have decorations that are like Easter eggs and stuff like that. That can just be made up on the spot. We don't have to plan Easter eggs.
Dej the Pumpkin Patch Kid said, just rip off a Taz animation.
Yeah, but that sounds hard. That sounds really hard. I don't know how you would do that. Okay. Let's put a... So instead of speaking to him, interact. You won't be able to interact with him. Unless you find a way to calm him down first. Which results in a key for a secret room. Okay. So a suave tradition will be chatting to Rukia in the large event room, making her laugh and being the life and soul of the party. So we'll have to just come up with some funny shit for tradition to say. And we'll have to give Rukia something too. Maybe Rukia, I'll be showing him like Chop said earlier on, like an art piece. We can have like a big picture in the main hall area where I die. And she's describing it to tradition. And he makes some joke. I don't know.
Dej the Pumpkin Patch Kid.
Something like that.
Said. No random player is going to have a clue what's going on in this game. Face with tears of joy.
It's good.
Chopped 517.
It's for us.
Said. Dave Station should be your butler and the secret room in the basement is where you find out he was planning to free Karen.
Too late to change. That's fundamentally changing. That gets rid of the whole Blair Witch thing that we have going on down here. Shady Dave as my butler. But I'm not against having a butler character. That could be somebody else that we haven't used yet. Dave Station should be your butler, and the secret room in the basement is where you find out he was planning to free Karen. See, I want this like this is. See if you're. How do I explain it? Most of these people will never have been in this mansion before. So if anything, Decepticon would be the butler, seeing as he's so closely associated with the channel, whereas Dave Station will be more of a rival, suspicious, antagonistic, if you will. Where was I? Okay, I was around here somewhere. So Gyson's wandering around, fist pumping people.
Chopped 517. Said. No, he can still be that dude in the corner. You just find him in place of Karen. Dej the Pumpkin Patch Kid. Said,
I don't know.
Can I actually turn up at the end of the game with the oi 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 jump scare?
That could be. If we do multiple endings, we could have that as one of the endings.
517.
I like the idea of that.
Said. Yeah, you boss your butler around and he's passed.
And by passed, I assume you mean pissed. Listen. I'm not big on the idea of Dave Station being the butler, but because we're doing this together, if anyone else likes the sound of that idea, speak up. This is a democracy. But of course, I'm a dictator at the end of the day. And I kind of like that Dave is just a guest, and that he maybe stumbles upon Karen's cage, frees her. At which point, he doesn't realize that I was Karen. And I lock him in the cage. Is that something we could go with? Or he tells you about it. We don't see it, but he says it. Go near the locked toilet door. So just a random door. Triggers muffled audio of a woman
Roy
giggling.
Said,
and Miguel Espinoza.
I like Shady Dave.
Like Shady Dave? Shady Dave versus Butler Dave. Cast your votes. A guest named Kyle will randomly approach. I think that's perfect. I think Kyle is perfect. I don't know when he should approach, but it doesn't really matter. At any point, he could do it. Before running away. So then, what do we want? What do we want Pete Hawkins to give us? Maybe Pete Hawkins will reveal the location of the basement. We'll have like a secret.
Dej the Pumpkin Patch Kid said.
Sorry, what did you say?
Shady.
Shady.
Dicepticon
Shady. All
said.
right. It's a democracy.
Shady.
It's a good thing I didn't have to use my dictatorship powers to make sure Shady got through anyway.
Chopped 517 said. Make Geisen the butler wandering around fist bumping.
Alright.
Dicepticon
I like the idea of Geisen being a butler.
said. Each room should take you to another room.
Geisen.
Roy Schwartz said. LOL.
Pumpkins. Butler. Wanders around constantly fist bumping. We could have like a tray in one hand and then him bumping in other people's hand at the other hand. Each room should take you to another room, says Decepticon. Now what do you mean by that? Or do you mean you go into a room, you find a key that will unlock a different room? Is that what you mean?
Dej the Pumpkin Patch Kid said. Can Pete give you another key with the lizard tongue?
That'd be cool. But like I don't know how complex that will be to animate.
Dicepticon said. Like a small escape room type thing.
Okay.
Dicepticon said.
Ooh, an escape room.
Yes.
I like the idea of an escape room. Like a trap. You wander into the wrong room. Door slams shut behind you. We could just copy that part in Resident Evil 7. The birthday party puzzle. With this gas coming in and you gotta fucking turn off the what is it, fire or the water? I don't know.
Chopped 517
that'd be complex though, I'm sure.
Said. I like Shady Dave better. I must have missed that part.
Because you're stoned out of your head. Stoned out of your head. You can't follow what's going on when you're blazing 420. 611. Smoke that tobacco. Okay, we've got this. Got that. So, okay, so Peace will be crawling around the ceiling, but can be lured down with calcium tablets for conversation. So, calcium tablets could just be placed randomly anywhere in the house.
Chopped 517 said. I am that for sure.
Okay, how about
Dicepticon said. You gather clues, get a key, then onto next room.
Calcium tablets. I'm highlighting them because they're a key item. So key item. Let's bold that shit. Or uppercase. Calcium tablets. So okay, wrong button. Calcium tablets is basically a key. So you have to go into a room, and then that could trigger the escape room type scenario. And your reward for getting out of the room is you unlock the calcium tablets, basically. How's that sound? I am that for sure, says Chopped. You gather clues, get a key, then on to the next room. Okay. CT, which is how we say calcium tablets from now on, are in an escape room type scenario. Now, I don't know how complex, how difficult do we want this escape room to be? When you picture escape room, what are you thinking? The door locks behind you. You have to find a key somewhere in the room.
Kid
answer a riddle or a puzzle.
Once Karen's cage has been opened, the alarm goes off, locks the windows and doors, and then that leads us down to the basement and starts the story off.
Interesting. So, while the doors and windows need to close right after Pumpkins has been killed. That way nobody escapes. The suspects can't go anywhere. So if the cage was to open, that means that's when Dave releases fake Karen. This is getting complex. I was thinking we could have maybe seen as Geisen as the butler type character. As soon as I die, Geisen slams the emergency Karen escape button, and then everything gets shut down, locked, you know. I didn't write that, but that's because I didn't know Geisen was his butler until a few minutes ago. Okay. Skip down here. Cow is in... Okay, so we need a new room then for this, I guess. Lounge.
Chopped
Games room,
517 said, "So glad I'm just a character in this.
Games room.
Jackpot got a ton of work. He might need to be paid for this. Shit is gonna take years."
Listen, it'll be worth it. So glad I'm just a character in this. Listen, Chopped, you're not just a character. You're going to be sculpting. I'm going to have you in charge of rigging skeletons. Alright? You're my rigger. Lead rigger. For the animations. So in the games room. So okay, so I was thinking there is a level already in the game. Maybe we could just steal it. Maybe we could just steal that room as the games room. It's the one with the pool table.
Pete, in a room of caged reptiles, all are poisonous but one, and the one that isn't has the key.
Oh, Jesus. So now you're adding a whole new room just for reptiles. I mean, I like the idea, but I'm not sure I like the amount of work it would take to create this idea. And then where's the logic behind it? You know, Pete's a guest. Why is he bringing a whole room of lizards with him? You know, this has to be realistic. Nothing about this can be fantastical or in any way non-believable. This needs to be real life. The visuals need to be also realistic. Jackpot, if you're watching, this is just what we need. It's my vision. Don't mess with my vision. Okay? Bags of ham will be surrounding Roy
Dead
Schwartz.
_I_Dan66
Good point.
said, "Good point."
But listen, Dead-Eye Dan, I like the ideas. Keep them coming. Just make them less difficult, complex. Simple ideas for a simple man like myself. Okay, so Dave Station, potential suspect. We need to remove this. That's old news. Oh, so Fozzie Bear is going to be in this room too, I guess, watching Roy on the pole with some reference to his 5 skin. And Dead-Eyed. Okay, so this is the shady room. This is where all the perverts hang out. And Cow. Cow's cool. I won't call him a pervert. He gives me money, so he's okay. So, are we getting a key out of any of these guys? What if we have to burst Dead-Eye Dan's blow-up doll? And there's a key inside the doll. And we need the candle that we got from downstairs to pop it. No, and we haven't even gone to the basement yet, have we?
Pumpkin Patch Kid,
Like, we need a candle to pop
said,
it.
"I think you need to create the mansion and characters first in dreams and then try to develop the story. It's getting crazy."
Deej, it
Dead
is making perfect sense.
_I_Dan66 said, "Never be able to get reptiles through Ireland customs." Chopped
This is true.
517 said, "Kinda gross how the key got in the doll."
Don't worry about it. No questions. No questions, alright? Okay. I like the idea of the key being in the doll. But then what does that key open? We have to pop the key with something. So maybe we could just be a sharp object or pop the blow-up doll. But of course the blow-up doll can't be porn blow-up doll. Just like it'll have to be fully clothed. Remember, keep it clean. Like, we can have the mouth open. Like, that's not porn. I mean, you know, we all know it is, but it isn't really. Plausible deniability there, I think. Have key, and then Dead-Eye Dan will freak out when you pop his doll. Key inside doll. Need to burst.
Chopped 517
with
said,
a knife.
"Put it in a bikini."
Put it in a bikini. Is that borderline? Is bikinis zucchini legal? Are the zucchinis legal? If they're legal, we can do it. I don't care as long as it's fine.
Ribri 2173 said,
Bree.
"Hey baby, winky face,
How you
joking
doing,
high.
Brian?
Dej the pumpkin
Brian the
patch kid
centipede has arrived.
said. How fast has this past hour gone?
There you go. I told you we'd
Chopped
have fun.
517
I told you we'd have fun brainstorming. We're
said,
connecting on an intellectual
like
level
a fat
now.
chic kinny.
A fat chickini. Chickini. Need to burst with a knife. Doesn't have to be a knife. Maybe we can come up with a candle. Maybe it can be a pen. I don't care what we use.
Bribri2173
We need some kind of a thing.
said. I'm doing good. I should put my name back to Brian.
Yes, you should.
Kiwi
Bribri's
MT
upsetting me.
said.
Kiwi!
Have Panman make random appearances for no reason. Walks through a locked door no one else can open. Yelling. Through room and exits
like
other
that.
door.
I like that.
Bribri2173 said. How are you?
I'm doing good, Bribri. Okay, we need to go back. Where are we going to put this Pan Man? Let's have Pan Man be upstairs. So we want to go upstairs after we get the acid key. Oh, here's an idea. How about this whole area here that these boys are in is in the attic?
Bribri2173 said. Bribri2173 has said. Bribri2173 has said. Bribri2173 has said hi.
Why do you test my patience?
Matt Marjanovic
Matt
said.
Marjanovic.
What is this all about?
Matt. Oh boy, Matt. How do we explain this? Basically, I want to create a game in dreams that will be a murder mystery, a virtual reality murder mystery. Tentatively called Blood on the Bong.
Bribri2173 said. Only for you pumpkins.
I'm going to ban you one of these days,
Chopped
Bribri.
517 said. This shit is gonna be crazy. Release date May 25th.
It'll be out before
2032.
Alvo, alright? It's out before Alvo.
Dicepticon said.
Gonna be some delays.
Gonna be some delays. Matt Marjanovic said. I liked you piano song.
He liked my piano song. Thank you, Matt. Thank you very much.
Said. 2035. Bribri2173 said. Wow, you're going to ban me. I must cry. LOL.
If I could do it from this menu, Brian, you'd be gone.
2173
You'd be gone for life.
said.
But I can't do it from this menu.
Dicepticon.
So you're lucky. You're lucky. Okay, so where's the lounge again? These boys are up here.
Dicepticon said. Scuttlebutt.
Ernesto Easter egg runs through what's the word I'm looking for?
Bribri2173 said. Slithers onto pumpkins bears and draws away.
Don't slither.
Bribri2173 said. Beard. Matt Marjanovic
Screaming
said.
with
You seem very creative.
Frying pan.
Did you make
Thank you,
your
Matt.
intro?
No.
Because it is legend. Wait for it. Derry.
Are you talking about the Dreams intro? That was Clever Trev. The link to his channel is in the description. He made that for me. Just because he wanted to, didn't ask. I offered to pay him. He was like, nope. I just want to do us just like the channel.
Bribri2173 said. Let me get onto your stream and I'll play guitar, sir.
Why would I want that?
Chopped 517 said.
Everyone has to be
at least 6 FET apart and wearing a mask.
No coronavirus
This is considered
allowed.
a social
No
gathering.
coronavirus allowed.
Matt Marjanovic said. Know your channel's pumpkin intro, yes. Bribri2173 said.
I don't know what you mean, Matt.
I'm a master at guitar though.
I don't believe you, Bribri. Although, being a centipede, you would have all those extra legs to play the strings, so maybe you do. Maybe you are. Okay, so Ernesto Easter Egg Man. How many characters have we got now? It's out of control. Okay, so this key will be the basement key. We haven't already got a basement key, have we? Blah 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 blah. Blah 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 blah.
Bribri2173
5XL
said.
So that's the ASCII key.
I'm better than Eddie Van Hollen. I'm Brian Van Centipede.
Oh shit, we got the The suck key.
Chopped
secret room.
517.
Not
said,
necessarily basement.
More characters than an Avengers movie.
We're skipping all the individuals. We're going straight for the ensemble. Okay. So where was I?
Bribri 2173 said, my
What,
new name, Brian Van Centipede.
Basement key.
Dicepticon.
Side doll.
Said, when you pull up to the house it should be a rundown shack but inside there's all these rooms. Matt Marjinovich.
I like that idea.
Said, the Petrifying Pumpkin video. I thought you made that. It's the Frank Show. What? The Frank Show? Common. Bribri 2173.
I'm so confused.
Said, can I be in your cool story? Chopped 517.
No episodes.
Said,
no episodes.
This might need to be episodic.
I'll tell you what, Brian.
Bribri 2173.
I will
said,
search.
I'll be the pest.
On the Dreamyverse, I'm going to search the word centipede. And if somebody has already created a centipede, I will place that centipede somewhere in one of the rooms. And that'll be you. Maybe we'll even talk to you. Maybe one line of dialogue. That's the best I'll do for you, Brian. Alright? No promises, though. I'm not even going to write it down. That's how much I'm not going to promise.
Bribri 2173 said,
basement key.
Okay. Yay.
Okay. Basement key. Inside the doll. Okay, so now I'm thinking that
Bribri 2173
instead of Tasuki giving
said,
you a key,
I'll be your friend that scatters throughout the house.
Instead of Tasuki
Chopped
giving
517.
He gives you information instead.
He can be a tattoo on someone's arm.
So I don't know what key what would he lead it to. Chopped, he can be a tattoo on someone's arm. Not a bad idea.
Said, I'll be back in 5 minutes.
Why you gotta threaten me like that, Bree? Anyway, Shady Dave. Okay, so we got the basement key. We head down to the basement. Oh, here we go. How's this
Matt
for an idea?
Marjinovich.
How's this for an idea?
Said, leads to the dead hooker.
So you want to find the basement. Tasuki knows where the basement is, which results in him telling you where the basement entrance is, which I think is like maybe hidden underneath my bed or something like that. You have to press or interact with the bed so that it slides over, and then there's a door or behind a press or something in the room. So you find the door, but you don't have the key. So that's when you go to the attic. You find the basement key. That's when you go downstairs. Shady Dave section plays out. He's in the cage.
MR 777 the Pumpkin Patch Kid said, you better start those tutorials
What
soon.
are you talking about?
This is a lot of work.
This is work. What I'm doing right now is work. This is my part. Your part is going to be doing all this stuff. Alright? You know? You're going to be doing the modeling. Oh, I got to write down what Decepticon. Decepticon's going to be doing the music. You're also going to be doing the animation. I'll get maybe Decepticon could do sound effects too. I don't know. We'll see. But look, this is the hardest part, is what I'm doing right here. Pouring out my profound ideas, my insights, giving you a look behind the curtain at my immense intelligence
Matt
and
Marjinovich
creativity.
Said,
Matt,
what do you do again? MR 777
Matt, I don't understand
Pumpkin
any
Patch
of your
Kid
questions. What do you mean, what do I do?
said, only if I get paid in dick pics. Chopped 517.
Maybe. We'll see.
Said,
We'll see.
told ya. He needs
He
a
says
paycheck.
he'll take payment
This is
in
gonna
dick pics.
take years.
Alright?
Dicepticon said, I'm almost done
reminds
Borderlands,
me.
so I'll be hitting tutorials soon.
Okay. So, arise, blah blah blah.
Matt Marjinovich said,
House.
I think Brian Paul already did this last week,
Stereo.
lol.
Is Brian Paul did this last week? I'll steal all his ideas. I don't care. Is very run
Chopped
down
517.
but the
Said.
interior
5 SKIN pick.
is
Dej the Pumpkin Patch Kid.
extravagant.
You will be getting job offers from Bethesda after this jackpot.
Well, do you want to work for Bethesda? That's the question. A 5 skin pick? I'll get Fozzie on the horn. I'll see if I can pull some Fozzie strings. Get that 5 skin. Okay. That's a good idea. This was Decepticon's idea. The house looks shit on the outside, but once you go inside, it inexplicably looks massive and fancy and posh, all that kind of stuff. I like that idea. But from the outside, it looks like shit. That's going to make it real easy to make the outside. It's just going to be like a box with like cracks in the wall, broken windows. I think we went past this part already. Okay. Dave will reveal he's freed Karen. From this point forward, Karen is a main suspect. Karen is deeper in the basement in a maze-like series of corridors.
Chopped 517. Said. Like the TARDIS.
Exactly.
Matt Marjinovich.
Exactly.
Said. Isn't this the plot from Resident Evil 7?
This is the director's cut of Resident Evil 7. Uh-oh, I hit refresh by accident. Don't say anything for a sec. I meant to hit the tab up here. Just relax. Okay, so this leads to a horror segment where the player must find Karen in the maze while spooky stuff happens. There's a rogue cameo in the basement. The guests discover that the doors have been... Oh shit, this needs to be put up at the top. Cut. Okay, this goes here. God damn it, I put a space there. Okay. The guests discover that the doors have all been sealed and that the windows have been barred up. Measures put in place by Pumpkins to prevent Karen escaping.
517. Said. That's what the secret door in the basement could be, the deeper part with the maze.
Activated by Geisen. They come to the conclusion that the killer is among them, and Decepticon tasks the player with finding the killer, claiming the player is the most trustworthy one among them, as they are too new to have a reason to hate Pumpkin. The guests all agree. So from this point on, the player becomes a detective, basically.
MR 777, the Pumpkin Patch Kid. Said. Just remember that the more props or puppets you got in Oak Scene, the hotter the Termamer gets.
But look, we're going to separate everyone.
Trev Gaming.
They'll be in different rooms.
Said. How linear will this be? Will there be multiple endings?
Super linear. The only different endings will be that you can accuse different people,
said,
and then a very brief scene would play.
Will this be a VR movie on Dreams or an actual game?
It might only be 2 endings. So like one ending would be you accuse the wrong person, bad ending. And then the good ending is you got the right person,
Dicepticon.
And then that's a good ending.
Said.
You know.
All these things will be different scenes.
Yeah, so we're going to have doors. There's going to be doors everywhere.
Clever Trev Gaming.
Each door will load,
said,
so that we can have...
Okay, linear will be much easier.
Reset the thermometer. I don't need it to be a big sprawling area. Except for maybe the maze in the basement should be kind of big-ish. But even that can be like a door right before the maze. You know, we're not trying to win Game of the Year awards here. You know, just as long as we can get it to work, that'd be cool. That's what the secret door in the basement could be.
Dicepticon.
The deeper part with the maze.
Said.
Okay.
You get clues, you slove the thing, you get a key, you go to next room. Chopped 517. Said. This would make a good VR movie. Matt Marjinovich. Said.
Oh, the Invisible Hours.
This reminds me of Invisible Hours, actually. Sounds good.
I haven't actually played the Invisible Hours. Maybe I should.
Said. Solve.
Okay, so we need to come up with the next part, like after the basement. Or in the basement. Okay, so we're searching for Karen in the maze. It's spooky. There's cameos, Easter eggs. Rogue is down one dead end with a spider. How do we want this part to end? Karen escapes? Or we catch Karen? Karen reveals that she's actually Pumpkin? Like, how do we want this to go? Because it sounds like Karen is me in disguise.
Matt Marjinovich said.
Where do we go from here?
Brian Paul is tied up in the basement.
Brian Paul is tied up in the basement. I'm down for that. Maybe he
Clever
just
Trev
meows.
Gaming said, "At Dicepticon you better get started on the soundtrack, boy." Dicepticon said, "Someone else dressed as Karen."
Someone else dressed as Karen. Now this changes everything completely. Because I thought Karen was dressed as me at the beginning. So technically she's the one who died, not really me, even though we all think it's me. And that I swapped places with her because I knew I was going to be targeted by the
Chopped
real killer.
517 said, "I got lost 30 minutes ago.
Listen, Chopped.
I'm just too stoned for this shit."
You were never found.
Dej the Pumpkin
You were
Patch
never
Kid
found.
said,
You were always lost.
"I'm so lost, face with tears
Deed,
of joy."
listen. Fucking Decepticon threw a spanner in the fucking works by saying this. Someone else dressed as Karen.
Decepticon said,
He's ruined everything by saying
"Lols." Rogadger said, "Just got out of the shower and I get a cameo. Nice.
that. There you go.
I thought I'd just be a human figure in a corner webbed beyond recognition."
Oh, that actually, I like the sound of
Matt
that.
Marjinovich
Yeah, I think you just wrote
said,
yourself into a human.
"Too confusing
Cocoon.
but people life surprise ending. Well, everyone loves a happy ending. Winky face."
There could be a happy ending. Listen, it's not going to be a serious thing. It's going to be pretty funny, I think. At least to us. Nobody else is going to know what the fuck is going on. Okay. So what do we want to happen in this maze? Like, this should be close to the end. This whole part here should be end game. Because we don't want this game going on too long. Because it's
Chopped
kind of...
517
It's a lot of characters and shit.
said, "So you're saying Karen is your body double?"
Yes.
So,
That wasn't even my idea. I can't remember who said it. Because it was like an hour ago. But at the beginning I envisioned I was murdered in the beginning. But then someone said, let's have a secret twist. Where Pumpkin was wearing a mask. You pull off the mask. Karen is underneath the whole time. Pretending to be Pumpkin.
Gyson said, "The ending will be like F."
F in the chat. Just a big F appears on the screen.
Gyson said, "The crying game." Chopped
Sad.
517 said, "Gross.
Listen, she's wearing
She
padding.
ain't ever getting the 5 skin."
She's wearing a fat suit. Don't worry. She's emaciated beyond belief. It's a fat suit. Okay? Relax. We've hit a block. You've hit a block. I've got so many ideas. I can't even
Dej
fathom
the
where I
Pumpkin
should
Patch
begin.
Kid said,
But where should you guys go
"At
from
Clever
here?
Trevor Gaming, do you think something like can be made in dreams?"
Of course.
Matt Marjinovich
I know you didn't ask me, but
said,
of course.
"Scratch all of it. Let's just make a text adventure."
Text adventure? That actually sounds kind of cool too. This is the text adventure. You're playing it right now, Naz. Okay. Eventually. Okay, so we have a few dead ends in this maze. One of them, Rogue, is in the corner, webbed up with a spider. Another one, Brian Paul, is tied up. You go over and talk to him, he just says, meow, meow. Like, that's all we have. But you go to the correct route. You find Karen. Where do we go from there? Ideas. Thoughts. Or does the correct route lead you to another secret passage that takes you back upstairs? All of a sudden, you've lost Karen. You know, we could go a few different directions. You know, I'm just giving you ideas to get the ball rolling. You know, because I should share some of these profound thoughts I'm having, I think. But I don't know.
Dej the Pumpkin Patch Kid said, "Can you put my jump scare in the maze instead of the phone?"
You want to be in the maze? Okay. We'll have you as a different ending. Or not different ending, but different dead end, we should say. Deej. Why is that capitalized? Jump scare. On a dead end.
Chopped 517 said, "I think Karen should remain elusive."
I kind of like that idea. But, like, so how do we reveal it then? Like, I'm fine with Karen being elusive, because Karen's technically me.
Matt
You understand? We've
Martinovich
swapped bodies.
said, it should end with an epic petrifying Pumpkin Patch Kids vs Without Parole Game Cats epic battle to the death. Do it, do it.
That's too complex.
Chopped
That's a fight. That's combat.
Said, we should never really get to meet Karen.
But that's the thing. She dies
Chopped
in the beginning.
517 said, and you're Karen.
The real Karen is like the DARPA chief in Metal Gear Solid 1. It's basically Metal Gear Solid 1 is what we're doing. Decoy Octopus and the DARPA chief. I don't know if you played Metal Gear Solid 1 or know what I'm talking about. But that's the kind of
Chopped
switcheroo we're going to do here.
517 said, but you can't be killed and be Karen.
Okay. I know you're stoned out of your head, so I'm going to try and explain
Dedge
this
the Pumpkin Patch Kid
as slowly,
said,
as concisely
if Dicepticon
as
is
I
the
can.
DJ, can he reveal who killed who?
Well, Decepticon's the one who gives you the
said,
quest, basically.
Basically. Dead_I_Dan
Combat with
66
potato guns.
said,
You racist bigot.
combat with potato guns.
Okay, so here's the thing. The very beginning, when Pumpkins welcomes you, it's not really Pumpkins, it's Karen. But you don't know it's Karen. So when Pumpkins dies, it's not really Pumpkin dying, it's Karen dying. You following me so far? So this Karen that you see running around the place in the basement is really Pumpkins. So at a certain point, you need to catch Karen, turn around, boom, for the second time in a row, because you thought Dave Station was Karen. Pumpkins is Karen this time. And then he reveals the plot to you. Someone was trying to kill me. I knew someone was trying to kill me. That's why we did the switcheroo. And then he'll give you some kind of a clue. And from that clue, you should solve that Tasuki is the real killer. If you've been paying attention. After that point, after you reveal that Pumpkins wasn't dead, that's when we should get to the decision, pick who did it. You've got options. You have to point out who killed Pumpkins. And if you pick the wrong person, bad ending. Pick the correct person, good ending. Roll credits, it's over. How's that sound? But how do we get from that point to where we are now?
517 said, THSTS too much. Release date 2050 PS7.
2050, huh? 30
Dedge
years?
the Pumpkin Patch Kid said, I need to start smoking weed again, face with tears of joy.
Roy says that's it.
Roy
gets us.
Said, that's it.
Roy appreciates art. He's like, eureka. Perfect story. People out
Matt
there saying there's no such
Martinovich
thing as perfect art, and
said,
boom, here it is.
Shouldn't this stream have spoiler alert in the title?
Nah, listen.
I feel like I've already beat the game.
We're developers. You're a developer of this game now, Matt. You understand? All the developers know how the game ends. That's the price we pay for creating profound entertainment. You know? Transcendent entertainment. Okay. I think I know where to go from here. Find. Okay. The player.
Amanda R.N.
finds
Rockwell
the correct
said,
path.
hey there, pumpkins.
Who we got here? Amanda? Amanda R.N. Rockwell. How are you doing, Miss Amanda? Or Miss Rockwell, I should say. Or Mrs. Rockwell. I don't know. I shouldn't have went in the Mrs. path. It was a dangerous path to walk on. I should have just stuck with Amanda. But I didn't. So let's just briskly move on. The player finds the correct path and finally catches Karen.
Matt Martinovich
The twist
said,
is then revealed.
all I know is this needs crazy jump scares and you walking down a
Karen.
runaway looking up at naked statues.
Well, we can import some naked statues that other people have made. That Beavis guy makes some really cool statues. Karen has been Pumpkin this whole time. Pumpkin explains he knew he was being targeted
Chopped 517
and he
said,
threw
She's a Rockwell,
this
she's your
party
financier.
to lure out the killer. Okay, I think we're making some good progress here, some good headway. She's a Rockwell, she's your financier. Is that some kind of an American reference that I'm too Irish to understand? You got Rockwell Banks over there. Pumpkin explains he knew he was being targeted and he threw the party to lure out the killer. And okay. So where do we go from here? We know the killer is Tsuki. And Tsuki's motive is that he's sick of Firewall. And he just doesn't like us. You know? Because he's a madman. So what clue is Pumpkin going to give us?
Chopped
that will tip the player off.
517. Said. No, just a rich family.
Alright.
Matt Marjinovich. Said. So a crying game ending seems like what you are wanting?
Okay, so that's the second
What's the
time I've seen
Pumpkin
crying
Patch
game.
Kid? Said. My.
Alright, Muzz. I just want to say for the record, I have not seen this crying game that two people have referenced now. But if we're stealing the ending to the crying game, I don't care. If that's what we have to do, that's what we have to do. But now I feel like you've spoiled the ending to this movie, The Crying Game, for me now. So if I ever do see it, I'm going to know that the killer or the victim at the beginning is actually not dead the whole time. Ideas. I think Tsuki is going to have to give us some kind of a tell when we talk to him. That's the only way we can make this work. Where's the Tsuki spirit?
Roy Schwartz.
Here it is.
Said. By the way, since Tajiki is ex-military, he has PTSD.
Ooh. I completely forgot he was ex-military. He was like in the Air Force or something. Even though I think he said he was only doing like computers or something. But we could turn this around into make him like they met him an assassin or something. Tsuki will be spinning around in circles in the living room, making Tasmanian noises. You won't be able to interact with him unless you find a way to calm him down first.
Dead_I_Dan66. Said. No Man's Sky reference points to Suk Suk.
No Man's Sky.
Chopped 517. Said. I feel so bad for Jackpot. He'll never see the sun again.
Are you implying that stoners go outside during the day? Please, that's when they sleep. That's when those unproductive members of society sleep. Because they're up all night
Rogager. Said.
Playing video games.
LOL has a subconscious trigger word.
Subconscious. Okay, so if we're going down that route, that he was an assassin, like a Winter Soldier type situation, who's pulling his strings? Are we going to have another twist where he's being controlled by someone? And if so, who?
Matt Marjinovich.
I like that idea, though.
Said. So Sixth Sense mixed with the crying game. How about we make Karen reveled to be Pumpkin and opens a box with Karen's head in it like in the movie 7. Dej the Pumpkin Patch Kid. Said. I think you will need Jackpot and Trevor working on this one.
Well, I agree 100%. I think Jackpot's down.
517. Said. Stoners are nature people, we go out during the day to get our Wheaties.
Well, I suppose it's legal now, so you can go out during the day. Well, it's legal in some places. But you used to be nocturnal creatures. Okay. So, secretly,
MR 777 the Pumpkin Patch Kid.
Sleeper cell.
Said. I think
Winter,
we need everyone to help. Dead
Winter
_I_.
Soldier. We'll get everyone. Don't worry about
66.
that. Don't worry about that. We'll get
Said.
everyone. Let's focus on this.
Dice pulling his stings.
Winter Soldier type situation being manipulated by... Oh, what if the trigger word is moist? When I'm giving my speech, I end it by saying moist, lights go dark. Well, Karen will say is giving the speech. And then dead.
Dead_I_Dan66.
Decepticon pulling the strings?
Strings.
Ooh, I like that.
Roy Schwartz.
I like that.
Said. LOL, Dicepticon would be too obvious, but what if he was really Bill Cosby?
No, we're not going Bill Cosby. That's not going to be accepted.
ALEX231E. Right? Said. Can I ask what's happening?
Alex.
Chopped 517.
I will try to explain.
Said. You should have to get SUC a coke to calm him down.
Plus, it would be easier for me to empty the ocean with a bucket with a hole in it than it would be for me to explain my profound genius. Sometimes I scare myself. Sometimes I don't understand what I'm saying myself. That'll give you a taste of what we're talking about here. Basically, though, we're trying to make a VR murder mystery in dreams with characters based around this community, the Pumpkin Patch community, basically. We got some good ideas. I think I like where this is going. I like that Decepticon is manipulating things from behind the scenes, and that the only reason is because his Easter egg was removed from Firewall.
Matt Marginovich.
I like that.
Said. Decepticons revealed with random laughs. Somehow we get his laughing in the game. His laugh is very contagious.
I'm down to have his laughing in the game for sure. But he does play an important role in the story anyway.
Mutz the Pumpkin Patch Kid.
Mutz the Pumpkin Patch Kid.
Maybe your wife should be the one who did it. Sick of you spending too much time doing shit like this. Face with tears of joy.
I don't know. I mean, Karen kind of represents my wife anyway. And also, I'm not married. But Karen was always there's kind of a connection there. In a way. Sometimes. It's not consistent. But okay. I like the ending. I like this ending we have here. We got the Winter Soldiers type thing going on. And that Decepticon is pulling the strings. But I just need to get from here to there. How are we getting from here to there? We're close. We've got the pieces of the jigsaw puzzle. It's almost complete. There's just one more row of pieces to fit. That's all we need.
Said. Geez, I've had a crud. Been on patrol, eaten food, and you're still here. Smiley face.
What's a crud? Is that like slang? Is that limey slang for you taking a shit or something? Welcome back, Pete Hawkins. Or should I say Reptilian? Reptilian of the year 2020. Should we put a pin in it? What do you think? Should we power through this? Or should we take a break and I can try and let you absorb this? And fingers crossed, with enough time, you might comprehend what I'm trying to do here, the profound statements I'm trying to make with this art. I'm not too hopeful. I'm not too hopeful that will happen.
Dead_I_Dan66 said. Do you hear crying babies when you enter certain rooms?
No babies, they're gone. They're not part of this universe. Leave the babies out of it, alright? Well, we could have crying babies in the basement. Because that's creepy.
Said. Power battery through to some 4 wall.
To some 4 wall, please. Please, Chopped. I need to charge my aim controller. I should have been doing that this whole time. But my aim controller is out of operation for tonight. Firewall tomorrow?
Rogue
down for that. I'd like to get this done.
Irish
this will
and
be
not
nice.
Married. Are you both orphans? I thought that was illegal, lol.
Well, she's my sister, so I'm not technically allowed to do it.
Pete Hawkins said. Am I still on the ceiling?
No, we lured you down. You gave us information. So Pete Hawkins will be crawling around the ceiling, but can be lured down with calcium tablets for a conversation.
Matt Marginovich said. Can you post it to your Patreon and we can go over it and ponder it?
Ooh. Yeah, I guess. Can I do that? Oh, share. Yeah, I could do that.
Chopped 517.
I'll put it in the Discord. I
Said,
won't limit it to Patreon.
My lady is here till Monday. No FW till then.
Chopped, why are you holding... Why don't you want Firewall? I'm always trying to play Firewall with you, and you've always got an excuse. You know, it's always something. You know, breaks my heart. Breaks my heart.
Dej the Pumpkin Patch Kid. Said. We need some bullet points with basic plots.
Okay, listen.
ALEX231E.
I'll put this document in the Discord.
Simp.
So, wait, who are you calling a simp? And what does simp stand for again? And something pathetic, or... I can't remember. I know what it is, but I can't remember what the actual acronym is. Anyway. Where's my pumpkin simps at? I think we've hit a wall tonight. I'm not getting the creativity from ye that I was earlier on. I think you're tired. I think your brains are exhausted from trying to keep up with me at an intellectual level for over 2 hours now. I'm actually impressed that so many of you were able to do this.
Said. Simpleton.
Actually, I thought it was simpleton too. But there is like an acronym. You know what? Let's find out. Simp meaning. No. Simp. I know this is correct.
ALEX231E. Said. No doing anything for a woman. MR777 The Pumpkin Patch Kid.
Suckers
said.
Idolizing mediocre.
I think what we have is pretty
bad
good.
word. Bad word.
Dej the Pumpkin
I
Patch
won't say
Kid.
that word.
Said. Is Fall Guys back up and running?
I think
Any
what
up
we have
for
is
an hour.
pretty good.
Chopped 517. Said. My brain checked out 45 minutes ago.
Your brain was never here. It never is. Your brain's been gone for years, Chopped. It's gone for years. I've been trying to save you.
MR777
You're too far gone. I'm
The
trying to
Pumpkin
help.
Patch Kid.
I'm trying to help.
Said. I heard some people saying Fall Guys is back for Summit Dej. Matt Marjinovich.
Music needs to
said,
be right.
The music needs to be right.
Oh, 100% he's doing it.
Can't Deception do it?
He is. Well, I
is
think he
pretty
said
good.
he will do it. Once he finishes, what's he doing? He's playing something. Borderlands. He's playing Borderlands. Once he's finished that, he's getting into tutorials on Dreams. Okay. I think this is a good place to end, as even though the viewers have gone up to 19.
517. Said. Fall Guys time.
Alright. I'm about to lose all my viewers then.
MR777 The Pumpkin Patch Kid.
Borderlands pile of feces,
said.
huh?
Borderlands pile of feces.
Okay. I had fun. I enjoyed doing that.
Dicepticon. Said. That shit's good.
What do you think?
Dej the Pumpkin Patch Kid. Said. You up for Fall Guys Pumpkin?
I guess I could play it, but I don't think I'm going to stream it. I'll let one of you guys stream it. Jackbot can stream it. How's that sound? I'm done for streaming for right now. But yeah. I enjoyed doing that.
MR777
servers are
The
still
Pumpkin
down.
Patch Kid.
Okay, whatever.
Said.
Listen, relax.
I just got lost, so I stopped playing it.
Did you enjoy this?
Decepticon.
Tell me what you thought of this. Was this
said.
something you wanted to see more
I
of?
think servers down.
Should there be a part 2 to this?
MR777 The Pumpkin Patch Kid. Said. Okay, suck me in. Chopped
Suck, suck.
517.
Suck.
Said. I'm in. Decepticon.
Stream was
said.
dope, says Deej. I'm
down.
glad you enjoyed it.
Pete Hawkins.
Sounds good. I'll read
said.
over what I missed when
Sounds
you post
good, dude.
in Discord.
I'll read over what I missed when
Thank
you
you,
post in
peace.
Discord.
Thank you for including
the
us.
Pumpkin
It was
Patch
fun.
Kid.
Thanks for joining and helping
said.
out.
This
All right.
stream was dope. Matt Marjinovich. Said. Thank you for including us. It was fun.
I think
yes.
I'm going to end it there. It has been a pleasure. And allow me to play you out with some soothing Decepticon beats and some artistic work by Clever Trev. Check them out in the description. GG. GG.
What the fuck is this?
MR777 The Pumpkin Patch Kid. Said. I think we got a good base and we can work from there, ironing out the details. What's the Pumpkin Patch Kid? Said. BA by Roy Schwartz. Said. Fun for sure. Dej the Pumpkin Patch Kid said. Someone add me on Fall Guys fist hand sign.